Hello, everybody. As we are getting ready for what should be a phenomenal game tonight, and I'm trying to flicker around with every single converter possible because Sportsnet apparently doesn't like me. As the Flames and the Leafs will go at it tonight at 7 o'clock tonight. I know it's early, but still, we'll appreciate everybody for if they can come on and join and chat, and we'll do what we can do tonight as the Leafs are actually, or excuse me, the Flames are looking for their third straight win tonight as they roll into. Oh no, I'm losing. There we go. Okay, we're good. Listen, I'm trying to work every channel tonight if we can. I don't know what's happening here, but Sportsnet doesn't like me because I'm a little old Canadian. But there we go, because TSN has the feed tonight for the Flames and the Leafs, and it is Hockey Hall of Fame night tonight. As Calgary, I think they're celebrating Mike Vernon tonight with the Flames and the Leafs. Man, Mike Vernon, I didn't watch a lot of highlights of him back in the day, but God, I mean, I'm glad he's getting celebrated for all of his accomplishments and everything like that. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Would love to hear everyone's predictions going in. It's an important game for me tonight specifically. This is kind of my Stanley Cup final in a sense, because that's all I can really hope for. I've got a lot of family members. About 98% of my family is, cousins and uncles and all that, are all Leaf fans. So I've been hearing about it all day today. I've been hearing about it going up to game time tonight. And listen, I don't care what happens this season. I'm just looking for one win tonight. That's all I'm looking for, and I'll be happy. As Andrew's checking in tonight. What's going on, Andrew? Glad to have you on. They're just getting warmed up tonight, and a few game notes before tonight's game for those of you watching out there. We do have Joseph Woll, who is starting for the Leafs tonight. They were just showing his last 3 games. He's got a 5.08 goals against average or something like that, and not pretty. So good if you're a Flames fan like myself, but then again, you still have to try to find a way to pot the puck in the back of the net, which has been probably the biggest issue for the Flames this season. As the Leafs starting lineup, they actually have Matthew Nyes on the top line with Matthews and Marner. Nylander there with Tavares and Bertuzzi on the second line. Nick Robertson, Domi, and Yarncroke on the third, with Grieger, Kemp, and Ryan Reeves on the fourth. Riley, Brody, McCabe. I kind of missed the graphic, not going to lie a little bit, but I think Klingberg is out for tonight for the Leafs. In terms of the team that we really care about for the Flames tonight, as RJ is mentioning here, I was just going to mention that it is Daniel Vladar who will get the nod tonight, as Markstrom's just dealing with a day-to-day issue. They did recall Dustin Wolf the other day from the AHL affiliate, and I think for a lot of Flames Nation, they've been looking to get Dustin Wolf from the Wranglers for the longest time, and I've been harping it. I know a lot of our Flames fans have been harping it too. We really need him to get up as well, and it's been pretty unfortunate that we haven't seen him yet. So Drax says here we're trying to get Sabres game updates because of a blackout. I mean, listen, I've had that problem too recently as well, but yeah, we'll be updating everybody on all the games going on tonight as well. But in terms of this game tonight, just mentioning there the Leafs little group of guys who are going up tonight. Jonathan Huberdeau will be playing tonight, as he sat out for the third period in the last game. They're trying to look to get going tonight. And yes, it will be Daniel Vladar tonight going in for the Flames tonight on what is Hockey Hall of Fame night tonight. So I'd like to hear everybody in the comments what they think. Any predictions tonight, any predictions for some of the other games tonight would be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to really hold out for this win tonight. But we're also bringing on Peter, our guy from Sticks in the Six. He's just getting off of work pretty late tonight, so he should be on soon-ish, I imagine. And they're just getting ready for warm-up here tonight for the Leafs and the Flames soon. So we should be getting Peter to join us very soon. But anyway, I thought we kind of get started a little bit early with predictions. And man, the way things, it's been kind of a weird year for both of these teams. I think for expectations-wise, I don't know if a lot of people had the Leafs kind of sitting where they're at right now, just based on what I've heard and the records and just kind of everything, in just everything in total with the Leafs up to this point in the season, right? I think a lot of people have been upset the fact that they're 6-5-2, it doesn't seem like that kind of team that they've built and constructed should be where they're at right now, as they're bringing out all the legends right now here for the Hockey Hall of Fame. They have Laney McDonald there. They're obviously celebrating Mike Vernon tonight, which they're going to show soon. A lot of people were not expecting the Leafs to be where they're at tonight, with being 6-5-2, especially for Calgary too. I can't say much, right? We're 4-7-1 to start the year, but hey, it is early. There's lots of time. There's lots of games to be decided, but Calgary is looking for their third straight win tonight, so they're trying to get their 4-7-1. They're trying to get their fifth win of the season. So we'll see what can happen as they're just introducing. It is. I'm trying to recognize some of these guys' names on here, but it's tough to gauge, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's great that they're doing this. It's great that they're honoring Mike Vernon. He's been such a legend for the longest time, and yeah, I'm glad he's getting the recognition that he deserves tonight as well. RJ, we got a lot of games on tap tonight, so if you're also tuning into this one, we got lots of other games as well to tune in tonight as well. The Capitals roll into New Jersey to battle with the Devils at 7 Eastern. The Hurricanes and Panthers also will do battle tonight as well. That should be a good matchup. Rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals will take place at the same time tonight as well. Wild head into Buffalo to take on the Sabres. We'll keep trying to keep updates as best as possible tonight for the Wild and the Sabres tonight. And the Flyers and Anaheim Ducks will be taking off at 10 o'clock, with the Sharks and Vegas finishing up at 10 Eastern as well, as the Sharks got a massive win last night. And I don't know about you guys, and maybe you can comment too, but I might have been one of those sick bastards that watched the Oilers and Sharks last night. I got the third period of the game, and God, Laney McDonald's mustache is just incredible right now. But anyway, yeah, just watching that game last night, I caught the third period of the Sharks and the Oilers last night, and just being a Flames guy, I'm stunned that the Oilers fell the way they did. They were just kind of watching back on the highlights and that. They were clearly the better team, and I couldn't believe that Mackenzie Blackwood stood on his head. A lot of people had that kind of prediction that maybe Blackwood would kind of do that, but honestly, I was shell-shocked by how well Mackenzie Blackwood was last night, and especially in that third period. The Sharks had one shot in the first 14 minutes of the third period, and the one shot turned into a goal that made it a 3-1 lead, and that was basically all it wrote. I still thought Edmonton was going to find a way to tie the game, and they almost did. But yeah, I really don't know what's happening there in Edmonton land. So I'd like to hear your guys' predictions. What are your thoughts for Edmonton going forward? What would you do? Do you hold the fort? Do you not fire anybody right now? Do you fire Holland? Do you get rid of Woodcroft? What do you do with the current core? I think a lot of people in the league are just shell-shocked with the way that kind of fell out with Edmonton. And hey, I can't say much being a Flames fan. We've had a tough go as well too. So it's early, but I'd like to see some sort of turnaround tonight. So as Drac saying, yeah, poor McDavid. I want to say poor McDavid too, but I can't for obvious reasons. But even I just wanted to show you too. So not that anybody would really care for tonight, but I thought it's cool because I'm wearing this jersey tonight. This is a minor hockey jersey that we wore. Oh my God, probably when we were 12, 13, 14, all around that. And just in this house league that we played in for my whole life, they just did NHL teams, right? So they did Calgary and Pittsburgh and Toronto and all that sort of stuff. And the one time that I won a championship happened to be in this jersey. And it's something that I hold on to very near and dear. And yeah, it's my only success when it comes to hockey. That was pretty much it. So I'm trying to hold on to this as much as possible. But they're just honoring Mike Vernon tonight, guys. It's taking a little bit longer tonight. I don't know why they say the start. It's stupid. They say it's 7 o'clock tonight for a start time, but it's we're 10 after now and nothing's happening. If you wanted to do this, if you wanted to say a 7 o'clock puck drop, maybe you do this, I don't know, half an hour beforehand. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but now they're honoring Ken Hitchcock. I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I missed out on whatever it was tonight that they're honoring. I mean, it might not just be Mike Vernon. They might be honoring more candidates tonight, but I think I've been out of the loop a little bit on on what they're doing tonight. I think they're doing Ken Hitchcock. Yeah, they are. Okay, cool. So sorry, it's not just Mike Vernon. They're honoring guys who are entering. I think they're entering the Hockey Hall of Fame tonight. I mean, what do I know? But Ken Hitchcock's had an incredible coaching career. Man, he's memorable. I'll leave it at that. And a former player too, as well. They're showing old photos of Ken Hitchcock as well. Want to thank everybody. We're just waiting for puck drop tonight, guys. It should be in the next, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. But wanted to thank everybody currently right now for joining. Wanted to mention as well too that we are having a contest going on right now with THPN. We are doing a giveaway for a hoodie with Everything Hockey. And if you get a chance to follow Everything Hockey, it's a great company that provides fantastic hoodies and memorabilia. And if you guys get a chance to look at it, you definitely should. But yeah, you guys can go check out our THPN Twitter channel right now. You should be able to find our tweet that we made yesterday. That's been doing very well. And we hope everybody else can join on this great giveaway for a hoodie. All you have to do is like the post and comment who your favorite Swedish player is within the giveaway. You wish you were on here, Dylan. You wish you were as cool as me, you know. As Dylan's been great though for the last little bit. Ever since I came on, he's been nothing short of great. So. But yeah, if you guys get a chance to jump on with that giveaway, we've been doing really good with that sort of stuff. And we actually, Dylan, if you are listening to this, I did get an email about an hour ago that we might be doing an additional giveaway with Everything Hockey. So might be spoiling it a little too soon, but early next week, we're probably going to be including another giveaway on top of what we did already yesterday with everybody getting in on the hoodie giveaway that we've been doing. So make sure to check that out sometime next week. And Dylan, if you're listening, yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll let you know what happened. But I literally got an email an hour ago saying that we'll probably include something else. So it'll be nice, and it should be good. So Carolina getting off to an early start tonight as we're still waiting for puck drop here. I think honestly 7:30 is going to be the start time tonight. I would not be surprised, as they're honoring guys coming into the Hockey Hall of Fame. We got Ken Hitchcock coming in, and I believe it's Marie-Philippe Poulin of Team Canada who's also joined the Hockey Hall of Fame. Nope, I was totally wrong. It's Caroline Ouellette who's also joined the Hockey Hall of Fame. They're just I'm honestly kind of mad that they said 7 o'clock tonight and nothing's happened. It's a little infuriating, but I don't know. What do you do? But anyway, so back to, let's keep the main focus on the game tonight, predictions wise. I'm begging for a win tonight. I need it. I really, really need this one tonight. I don't care about any of the other games this year. I don't care what happens. I really, really need this one tonight. So I'll say Flames win a close one. I think they win maybe 4-3 in overtime. I think it's going to come down to that. As they now bring out Mike Vernon. So, okay, it's a number of guys who've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they're just honoring them tonight. But it sucks that this is kind of taking forever. So that's my prediction. I got 4-3 Calgary tonight. But it wouldn't surprise me that, Toronto's been on a bit of a slump recently. They had the bad loss against Ottawa the other day. Wouldn't really surprise me if Toronto does come out guns a-blazing a little bit and they do something special tonight. And it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of blow them out of the water either. That's usually how these games go. Calgary never wins these type of games in blowout fashion against the Leafs. It's either going to be a really close game and Calgary comes on top, or vice versa, or the Leafs will just come in and win like 6-2 or something like that. So, Draxan Matthews hat trick probably wouldn't surprise me either if that happens. Dylan, get out of here. Nobody likes you. We don't like that. We don't like seeing that. But I mean, hey, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case tonight. And yeah, so they're honoring Mike Vernon now. God, he looks so short. It's amazing how short this guy is. Oh my God, that's crazy. But he still looks good for his age, and I'm glad that they're honoring these guys tonight. And Lanny McDonald's never looked better. He's been an absolute stud. So we're 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, after the posted start time, and They're still rolling here. I'm telling you guys, it might be 7:30 tonight, and I'm kind of a little teed that they kind of lied to us a little bit. Yeah, they say 7 o'clock, but nothing's happened. It's so stupid. So we'll make sure we get everybody up to date. But yeah, so anybody let me know your predictions, comments below. I'm trying to see if our guy Peter from our Six in the Six podcast will be joining us soon. I believe he is getting home from work late. Let me know how long you'll be. Not trying to rush him, but I mean, he's missing a pretty important game tonight, so I'll give him that. While we're waiting, though, I'd love to hear everybody else's comments on the season so far. Any questions? What do we think? What do we think about Edmonton? What do you think about some of the hot teams right now? Anything at this point? I know it's pretty bad. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it. Listen, it could be worse. We could be Edmonton. We haven't lost to the Sharks yet, so it could be worse. I'm still flabbergasted by what happened last night. I didn't catch a lot of the game. I did catch the third period of it, but I couldn't believe how they fell apart last night. Like, they were all over San Jose last night, and really it should have been 6-3, 7-3, but they could not pot anything in the net last night. It was a joke. I really thought they were going to really come out and just pound these guys, but Mackenzie Blackwood played very well last night. Turnovers just killed them, and they just couldn't find a way to pot it in the back of the net. So I'm just curious to see what kind, like, if they do any changes going forward. I don't know what you do. You don't want to be too quick. Like, it's early in the season. You don't want to be too quick to make any sort of decision making by maybe you change it up with Woodcroft, or Ken Holland has to go, or maybe there's something in the bottom six that you can try to switch up to make it a little bit better for that team. But I don't know what you do with that team right now. You kind of have to just roll with it a little bit. You can't really do a whole lot because, what if you do make these changes and all of a sudden it continues to not work out so well, right? So I don't know. I listen, not my problem at the end of the day, but I couldn't believe that they lost last night. They continue the introductions here. It should be done soon, as Carolina and Florida are actually gotten off to a hot start. Both teams, they both got a goal within the first 4 minutes of the game. They're tied at 1. That is a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals as of last year. I didn't think Florida would be as good to start the year, personally, but they've been holding their own, and it's nice to see. As RJ is saying, that Buffalo and Minnesota have gotten underway. No score to start that one. So for those of you looking for the Buffalo updates, there you go. Henrik Lundqvist getting honored tonight as well, too. He is in Toronto, as that's just the case. They're getting all the Hockey Hall of Fame, not nominees, but all the inductees. There we go. They're all getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So they're getting everybody's shining moment, I guess, tonight. But still pisses me off that they couldn't start this game at 7:30. So you want to talk about slow starts? This is the slowest start I've seen all season. This is ridiculous. We've been bamboozled by the NHL. And honestly, I've been bamboozled by the score a little bit. So kind of sucks. RJ saying that the Capitals and the Devils have also started their game as well, too. They're almost halfway through the first period and no score going on there. And we got Drac saying with a nice little buffalo emoji. Love to see it. And I don't know, Drac. I mean, man, I expected a little bit more from Buffalo this year to start the season. It's early. I get it. But I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more. And maybe they go on a run. Maybe I'm wrong. Like most things, I'm usually pretty wrong. But, I'd like to see Buffalo, one of my predictions at least, get right and them try to get into the playoffs. And we'll see what kind of noise they can make. So, all right, so they dropped a ceremonial puck. Now Backlund and Tavares are shaking hands. They're getting ready to go here. Everybody's smiling. Everyone's crying now. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know about you guys, for us Canadians here, but I still have a 7 o'clock start time. And now they got to sing the national anthem. Oh, my God. If they wanted a 7:30 start, why didn't they just tell us a 7:30 start? That's all I'm asking for. Like, you just need to be on time. If you know that you're going to have a ceremonial start, then why don't you just say the puck's going to drop at 7:30? I'm on here for an additional half. Not that I like being on here, but they're on here for an additional half an hour, and they basically lied to us. I don't like it. Nothing we can do about it, but it's a little infuriating as all the other games are starting, and they still say it's 7 o'clock. So, whatever. It is what it is. I'm going to lose my mind in a minute. Oh, my God. That's okay. I don't know what I can do, man. I'm trying to kill time here. What do you want me to do? This is ridiculous. But like out of all the inductees here, like it's great that they're getting honored. One guy that was getting mentioned a lot in our giveaway today that you guys can still enter was Henrik Lundqvist. He I don't know what you guys think, but man, Lundqvist not winning a cup, I think is not a disservice, but man, that's one guy you're going to look back on in his career and go, you should have won one, man. And he had his chances, right? Like he had the chance. He's been in a lot of Eastern Conference finals. He was in the one cup final against the Kings. And you just kind of look back and think what could have been. And he really feels like he's one of those guys that maybe should have deserved to win a cup. But I mean, hey, it's hockey. So anybody can win at any given time. As now they sang the national anthem. Now they drop the puck. And I think they're going to commercial break now. They're going to commercial break. This is absolutely ridiculous. I just needed a truth. I just needed to know when they're dropping the puck. Like if you say 7 o'clock, then say 7 o'clock. When they do baseball games, they say for the Toronto Blue Jays, they do 7:07, and they're usually bang on the money. And they're not right tonight. I could have had another slice of pizza tonight. I could have done multiple things within the span of half an hour. But instead, we have to wait for these guys to do their whole ceremonial thing just because we can't trust guys putting up the right time tonight to drop the puck. So, this is ridiculous. Oh, man. But if you wanted to know, we had Carolina and Florida got off to an early start tonight. It was Kotkaniemi who got off to a quick start for the Carolina Hurricanes. And somebody that you should take note of who got an assist tonight was Jordan Martinook of the Hurricanes. Jesper Fast also got an assist on that as well. But Martinook will be appearing on a new episode of our Carolina Hurricanes podcast in the Surgecast for their 100th episode. So if you guys get a chance to check that out, you should. It's a phenomenal episode from what I heard. It was pre-recorded, I believe. They chatted with him, I think they said early September. So obviously, it's not very recent, not up to date, but still like a very good conversation with him. He's a hilarious guy from what I hear, and it's something that you guys should check out. And for Florida, of course, it was Matthew Tkachuk getting the goal for the Panthers as Lundell and Verhaeghe get the assist. As Florida is 7-4-1 right now, and that was a team that I kind of bagged a little bit. And I thought, like after their run to the Cup final, they were going to be a little bit slow coming out of the gate, and they've been the opposite, right? With a lot of the injuries that they've had, I'm kind of surprised that they're kind of where they're at right now. Carolina being 8-5, it's two really good teams going at it tonight, but you would think that Carolina has something to say about it, especially from when they played each other in the Eastern Final. As now we're going to get the puck drop soon. Thank God. Daniel Vladar 2-1 in his last 3 games to start the year. He's got exactly four goals against average with a .84 save percentage going up against Joseph Woll tonight. He has been on a bit of a slump in his last 3 games, giving up over 5 goals against average and not a very good save percentage, just below 900. As they did their introductions to the Hall of Fame, they did all of that, and we are now finally getting underway after almost half an hour. We've been lied to. We're getting underway tonight as the Leafs and the Flames will get at it. We need one tonight as Jake McCabe returns back to the lineup for the Leafs. He missed his last 6 games with a groin injury, so he is back. I believe John Klingberg is out of the lineup tonight for the Leafs, as a lot of former Flames, as you see on the Leafs. And sometimes we forget to mention that it is Mark Giordano and TJ Brody on the other side with Toronto as a couple of former Flames. And I think the biggest former Flame maybe to mention tonight is Brad Treliving, who kind of shaped these two teams. Maybe not as much for Calgary this past offseason, but they definitely have shaped these two teams going into tonight. As it says delayed on here, guys, but we are underway as Calgary has Martin Pofsel, Backlund, and Zari on a lineup tonight with Huberdeau, Lindholm, and Mangiapane. Zari's with Kadri and Sharon Govich. Greer, Ruzicka, and Dubé. As the Leafs had an early chance, it's denied by Vladar, who has had a good start this year for the Flames. Zadorov, Mackenzie Weegar, D. Simon, another AHL affiliate in the lineup. I'm trying to catch up to these like tickers here, but they're going so quick. As maybe you guys can tell me what you think about Matthew Nyes being on the top line with Marner and Matthews tonight. It still seems like for the past couple of years that they haven't found a guy to play at that left wing for Matthews and Marner. And I'm shocked that they really haven't been able to solidify that. And you would think that's something that that they would have tried to fulfill that this offseason. And I know they tried to do it with Bertuzzi, but clearly that hasn't been the case tonight. In the last, year and a half to 2 years, maybe they haven't really been able to try to solidify that left wing. But hey, maybe they do something at the deadline and we'll see where they're at. As thank God we're underway a little bit and I can take a break because I deserve this. It's harder than you people think, okay? You try to do your best. As for those of you who do follow the Flames a little bit, obviously I mentioned beforehand that Dustin Wolf is in he is the backup goalie tonight. Jacob Markstrom is dealing with an injury, so that's why we see Daniel Vladar in tonight for the Flames. They're getting a lot of their rookies, from their AHL affiliate, finally getting a shot here in the NHL. Guys like Connor Zary, who's been very good for the Flames ever since he came up. Pospisil, who had a good game against Seattle the other day. He's been very good. D. Simon, who hasn't really been heard of, but he's trying to crack the lineup maybe too. But they're getting a lot of chances. They're getting a lot of young guys coming in and trying to crack this lineup a little bit, it's nice to see, and it's what you need to see for this Flames team going forward, right? Nick Robertson, actually, I forgot to mention for the Leafs, is in the lineup tonight, and I think he's playing on the third line for the Leafs tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that's what I see from the Flames tonight. RJ mentioning that the Capitals are up 2-0 all of a sudden within that span of 4 to 5 minutes. The Capitals all of a sudden find themselves up 2-0, against the Devils tonight. I appreciate everybody coming on and just hanging out with me as I'm not drinking beer. I promise. A little. It's apple juice, I swear. Listen, I'm gonna need it tonight. Okay, it could be a long night. But listen, I've seen some highlights too this year with the Leafs, and I want to say I'm surprised with where they're at, as I missed something because there's a power play now. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden there's a power play. Tavares is going to get a good chance, tipped and deflected wide, and that's going to go out. As I missed something. I don't know what it was, but here, let me check it out actually real quick. We'll scroll down here on our flash score. As nope, never mind. They're let's see your stats, lineups. Lineups isn't really going to help us that much here. I might refresh this real quick, and there's a goal. As I totally looked away, William Nylander gets on the board. The Leafs lead 1-0, just like that. And now all of a sudden we're going to see, I don't know how, TV streaming, blah, blah, blah. You know what? We're going to leave it. It's fine. AJ Greer. Okay, there we go. We got it. AJ Greer went into the box for holding, and all of a sudden William Nylander now puts the Leafs up 1-0. And to be honest, there was no defenseman back, as Peter joins us at the right time tonight. You bastard.
I literally, as I'm logging in and getting everything set up, I poke and see Nylander just dangle everybody now.
You literally didn't miss anything. They started so goddamn late.
The induction game. Yeah, I kind of figured.
They started so friggin' late because they said like 7 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. What are we doing? Well, and you didn't miss anything except for a goal.
Yeah, well, Kyle, happy to be here. I do want to show you something because this is,
please, I need
a rough night.
I need a drink because I've been talking for the last half an hour.
This is a rough night, and because it's like nearing the holiday season, it's already Christmas at my house. We are already getting everything unwrapped and everything. So I am presenting the Seinfeld Festivus poll.
I'm gonna take this off for a second. What
the Seinfeld Festivus poll?
No way.
So we can both air our grievances tonight because there are a lot of problems with both of our teams.
Well, I mean, like, I was kind of talking about it. Like, so you guys are, I didn't realize this because I was following the Oilers' demise last night a little bit. And
as we all were.
As we were. And I haven't been following much of the Leafs ever since our last kind of chat, which was actually a Flames game. But anyway, they're 6-5-2. And not a great game against the Senators. And listen, you can talk about what's been happening recently, but Leafs just scored as we just saw. I'm getting bamboozled with messages now. This is how you guys are. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's the one game of the year where they're in Toronto, Peter, and I need a win.
Yeah.
I need it.
Like, we heard everything with Edmonton, how they're not going to be changes right now, but I think Calgary needs this win more than Edmonton needed it yesterday.
Yep.
Because there we go. Oh, no?
Are you ahead of me? Wait,
I think I am. So I probably need to give it a good old pause for 5 seconds.
I was going to say, can you pause it? Because I can't. I'm on cable tonight.
Yeah.
I'm at 14, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51. 50.
Wait, you're at 14?
Yeah, 14, 49, 48, 47, 46.
Oh, you're ahead of me then.
Oh.
I just saw the missed Riley no goal.
Well, I'm going to try here. You can keep an eye out for me.
I'm at 15:02 right now.
I don't know what happened with Sportsnet tonight for us, but I can't, like, I had regional restrictions apply and I can't, I couldn't access the game. And I'm like, man, I'm like we're an hour from the arena. I mean, I'm further than you, but still, like, I could not.
You'd think that the reception would kind of be the same. I'm at 14:43 right now.
Yeah, regional restrictions apply. Like, the stupid thing is I have Sportsnet Plus and I can't watch Flames and Leafs right now.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
It's so stupid. Oh, because there's a blackout.
Oh, in your area right now?
There's a blackout. They're saying there's a blackout on Sportsnet right now. For more information on event blackouts.
That's why it's on TSN.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's why I'm like, wait, Sportsnet, wait, what? And I'm like, it's TSN.
Oh
I have it on
God,
TSN 4.
Right. You're so right. But you can't wait. What? So hold on a second. If it's Flames Leafs, and I imagine that they'll play if you're in Calgary, they would play it on TSN.
Yeah.
So why are you showing it on Sportsnet then? That's
it's on Sportsnet for you?
Well, no. So I have the Sportsnet Plus app. Right?
Okay. I think it maybe because like they'll get the feed of any game. That
makes no sense.
Yeah.
We pay how much to get this? And like, oh, that's infuriating. Okay, so I'm ahead of you. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm at 13:25 right now.
I'm gonna find out in a second where I am because I'm heated. I've been pissed off ever since like 7:15 because they haven't dropped the goddamn puck.
I can imagine that you wanted to you were etching to try and get in as soon as possible.
As Wade is now a new member for YouTube, and the Flames score.
Welcome,
it's
Wade.
Connor Zary. We are tied. I want this one tonight. I don't care. I want this one tonight.
Okay, so you know what? I'm not that far behind.
No, you're not that far tonight.
I'm
it's
like
Connor
5 seconds behind, but
sets up Zary. And that's a bad rebound for Joseph Woll.
Yeah.
That's not a good rebound. We are tied up. Man, if you want to know anything about this Flames team so far this season, Peter, it's that Connor Zary has been the best thing that's ever happened to this team.
He has.
He's been absolutely unbelievable.
I've had some doubts with his progression because he has hit some bumps in the road, but he's turned it around big time and at a good time because they can use all the help. Oh, that's one that Wall should have.
He needs to have that.
A weak shot. Yeah, no, he's got to be better on that. I guess it kind of fooled him because it did hit off the right pad and went to him. But in that instance, he's got to be more locked in and dialed.
I'm trying to get up with everybody because my entire family, uncles and cousins and all that, are all Flames fans. They're all Leaf fans, right? And so I'm getting Willie, fuck the Flames, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I can't respond. I can't do it because it's like. What's that? What am I going to get out of that? You know what I mean? I can't say anything until the game's over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. I understand that it's the fourth line that was out there for a goal against.
Okay,
I'm not so sure that was necessarily fully on the fourth line.
So
like, I know Toronto fans like to pick on the fourth line because they have been awful at this point.
Sure,
but that's a rebound that Wall's got to be in more control of, in my opinion. But
well, you're gonna get credit with one here.
I'm kind of scared.
No, you shouldn't be. You should be excited, as it is Calle Jarnkrok who scores for the Leafs.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah, Calle Jarnkrok, the former Flame, believe it or not, as of 2 years ago.
Let's go.
Gets one, and the Leafs lead 2-1. What a crazy start!
Third game or the third time in 3 games that this third line is
scored. Man, you gotta have that. What is he doing? That's such a softie. He's got to have that.
Both goals were kind of backhands, and they were weak backhands.
Yeah, Vladar's got to have that, man. That's pretty bad. But I was going to mention real quick, because I saw there was the lineup for tonight for the Leafs. There is no John Klingberg tonight.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So it is reported that he is dealing with an injury. Earlier today, Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts, the podcast, did say that he was dealing with a hip injury.
Right.
And that's why he's been dealing with it for some time. Now, based on the lineup yesterday, they were, going to scratch him regardless.
Right.
But maybe his hip injury is the reason why John Klingberg has been bad throughout his career, especially as of late.
Sure.
But during the preseason, he kind of looked okay. And I wonder if that injury has plagued him big time right now. Because if it's your hip and you have bad movements, especially with your pivots and everything, that's something that's going to affect you big time.
I agree. Yeah. And it's a long season, man. You gotta keep him healthy, right? I get it. It's kind of a special night, though, tonight a little bit, because there's so much correlation with our two teams, with there being Brad Treliving, Nazem Kadri, like the list goes on, Mark Giordano, TJ Brody, like it goes on and on. Calle Jarnkrok, who just scored, right? So it's like it's always nice, like when these guys play each other, because there's always that little bit of connection, right? And even if you go further back, like a couple of years with Dion Phaneuf from Calgary over to Toronto, there might be a penalty coming up to Toronto. Might. I could be wrong.
Oh, they try to spring. Yeah, see, I'm a few seconds behind, so that's
might. I don't know. I don't know if it was puck over glass or not, but I kind of missed the last second of it. But anyway, just to finish up my point is they're in.
Oh, that kind of looked like it was shot off the boards.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I just caught up right now.
So we're in. I think we're in for a good game tonight.
It's looking like a good game right now.
But it's funny. I was telling everybody at the beginning, like, these are the type of games where it wouldn't surprise me if Calgary wins in overtime or the Leafs blow these guys out like 6-1. That's the type of game this is going to be. It's always going to be that way. Yeah. Every time I've seen it, that's how it usually goes. But yeah, it's unfortunate with Klingberg's injury, because now they bring up Benoit and Legason.
They've been up for some time because of the injuries already, because McCabe was already out, Liljegren with his high ankle sprain.
Right.
And to be honest, they have fared better than Klingberg. And they're more depth pieces. They were on the outside looking in to make the team. Like, I kind of liked Legason during the preseason.
Yeah, and
Benoit was dealing with an injury himself, and then they got sent down to the Marlies, but now this is their opportunity to, move up in the lineup, and they're taking advantage of it.
And it's not like you were paying Klingberg a lot of money in the first place. So you can afford, like, him missing a fair amount of games for him to get healthy, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was important. Speaking of health, like, the reason why we have Vladar in tonight is because Markstrom's out, and we did bring Dustin Wolf up into the lineup. And I assume that, from what I hear, I think he's going to start next game for Calgary, which would be fan-friggin-tastic.
I am just thankful that Wolf is not playing tonight, because it is a guaranteed probable win. It is like first game of this season.
Yeah.
And it's going up against the Leafs. And I've watched Dustin Wolf throughout the AHL so far. Absolutely dynamite in net.
I can't believe
nothing gets by him.
I honestly, I want to trade Vladar for like a 3rd round pick. He's got to go. Like, we need Wolf. I'm sorry. Like, because I don't want to,
I think he's ready for more time right now. He's kind of in that Spencer Knight territory, but Spencer Knight was a different situation because he was in the player assistance program and all that. But both are high caliber goaltenders.
Exactly. And you were mentioning earlier with Klingberg, as we mentioned here, he is out with an undisclosed injury, but you mentioned his hip. So we'll
I will
see what
go
that turns out to be.
through the
Darren checking in too. What's going on, Darren?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Says what's going to be a fantastic night. But yeah, check to see what Klingberg's if there's anything that came out of that.
Yeah, the one thing that I do have was Elliot Freeman on 32 Thoughts the podcast, where he did say he was dealing with lingering hip problems.
Right.
So that to me is a giveaway. Maybe he has been worse than he has been as of late.
Okay. Okay, so question for you, as I'm kind of learning more and more about this Leafs team a little bit more as we're getting into the game. What do you think up to this point has been their best and their worst period overall?
Their worst period, it's like a 6, 7, 8-way tie with a bunch of other games. I mean, there's a Buffalo third period. There's the Ottawa third period. There was the Tampa Bay first periods. There was the Montreal first 2 periods. Do I go on and on?
No.
Yeah, honestly, their best game overall was their game against the Dallas Stars. I thought it was their most complete game. Joseph Wall was fantastic. 1 goal against. They were down 5 defensemen because that's when McCabe got injured. And that's when everybody, even John Klingberg, stepped up, although he was kind of hit and miss because John Klingberg, but he did have one of his better games at that point. They got some secondary scoring from Bertuzzi. Stars came. I mean, the Star Maple Leaf players came, not the Dallas Stars. But I thought that was probably one of their best outings. So I'm going to use that Dallas Stars game as their best period to this point.
Okay. Interesting. And as they were showing TJ Brody just like being pissed off on the bench.
I love those rage moments. And especially if it gets caught on camera, because that's just like the perfect moment every time.
Yeah, we are in commercial break, so I'm going to take a second to just jump off the scoreboard until the game comes on, because I did want to ask you another important question that came up with Brad Marchand. I don't think we've talked since the Brad Marchand incident. Heard a lot of different opinions from it, but I wanted to know from you, when it came to guys trying to rally around the team, just guys in general, just wanting to rally around the team for the injury that took place with Liljegren. Is that concerning for you going forward, where Marchand's just going to do something like that, whether it be a suspension or not? I don't care. But the response clearly wasn't addressed well within the locker room and with a lot of these other guys. I want to know your take on it and if that's a big concern or not going forward.
Very big concern, because we talked about this on 6 of the 6 podcast. I've talked about it, writing about it as well. Yeah, little right there.
A little bump,
little bump right there. I thought it was pathetic. I thought it was very concerning that this team showed no backbone when your player got, can opened along the boards. No one really saw it at first. It was quick, but, they saw the replay afterwards. They know what happened.
Right.
And the fact that, Reeves was chirping Marchand from the bench, because there was no way that Keefe was going to put him out there.
He couldn't jump on anyway.
There was no way that was going to happen, because you put your fourth line out. That's, again, based on the way that the fourth line was playing, probably goal against.
Right.
But, John Klingberg shoved him later on in the game and was chirping him as well. Great, but something needs to happen in that moment. And the fact that nobody, like whoever was on the ice, whether it was Domi, Yarncroke, insert whatever Maple Leaf player was on that ice at that point,
right?
You need to send a message after your player got severely injured on that play, because that just shows that you have no backbone and teams here are still going to take advantage of you.
It's true.
And I go back to the preseason game, and I wrote something about this where I talk about, Mark Stone getting hit with a late hit in the corner. He immediately pops back up, and him and 3 other Golden Knights rush the guy that hit him. That's the response you want to see in any situation where, whether it was, clean play, dirty play, what have you. If you see something that you don't like, a message needs to be sent. Even if you're not going to drop the gloves, get up in their face, throw some shoves,
do something, man.
Something, because I don't like Myself, every other Leaf fan thought that was a disgrace.
It's true. Like, you brought in, and I mean, for
the toughness,
and the toughness, yes.
Yeah,
I was
just
not
piss and vinegar this offseason.
No, I was gonna say, like, because we're in the area, and I have heard from Steve Dangle too, where he's already pissed off with Ryan Reeves, right? The start of this 3-year contract, right?
Yeah,
and
I saw that clip of him on his podcast.
And he's already seen enough, right? Have you seen enough from Ryan Reeves? Is that the consensus around Leaf Nation that they have seen enough from Ryan Reeves?
I mean, considering that they're possibly going to scratch him for the next game, that is concerning, because after the first 2 games against, the Montreal Canadiens, because we saw that fight where it was him and Jack Guy and he gets shoved into the net, but, he made the big hit to try and get his team going.
And listen, as big as a game as it is tonight, because we all know it's a big game tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bigger game tomorrow night. Let's be honest here, right? With Canucks rolling into town, because it is a back-to-back, and I imagine that they're probably going to have Samsonov in tomorrow night, but you're right. Like, you need to make a statement against what's been a very hot Canucks team tomorrow night, and, it's, again, continue from what you were saying, though, from Reeves.
Yeah, no, I just say, like, Dangle was spot on with, his words. 2 games in, he's packed it in. You even want to throw in the chirp to Corey Perry along the bench. Fine, go right ahead. But even then, like, that's just a chirp from the bench. That's not him engaging physically, using the body, getting on the forecheck, laying a big hit. That to me is concerning, that nothing's happened since game 2.
It is.
And $1 million per for, I mean, he has had moments where he's in on the forecheck and then they get late caught going back the other way and there's a goal against, where the fourth line has had good moments, but it's just not enough. And knowing him, how, like, no points, I mean, plus minus is still a useful stat, but he's in the minus category right now.
Right.
You need more. You need more of a fourth line that has that ability to be physical, have the speed, because there are times where Noah Gregor is, like, the only one trying to do something on that line. And, Reeves and Camp are basically invisible. So you need more from him. But yeah, everyone's already given up on Reeves, putting him on waivers, sending him down to the Marlies, doing something, because the message needs to be sent to him. A message already being sent to Klingberg, where he was going to be healthy scratch before the injury. But
and it's early, right? You can't make all these rash decisions right away. Like, we're 10 games in and you can't be on that right away. So I understand that, right? But I'll ask you another question afterwards, but I did want to mention, because we have to keep up to date with some of the other games going on tonight, as the Capitals are up 2-0 still at the end of one. Shots were 11-3 for the Capitals. And thank you, RJ, for showing us this. It's important. Because I keep forgetting. That's why. But another game that we forgot to mention tonight is the Sabres are up 1-0 with they're almost on the first period in that game, and it is 1-1 in Florida against the Hurricanes and the Panthers. But the question I was going to ask for you, they were showing the lineups to start tonight. How do you feel about Matthew Nice being on the top line with Matthews and Marner tonight?
It should not have taken like 11, 12 games to put him on that top line. Like, it really shouldn't. Like, I know you want to try and get Bertuzzi that opportunity. It didn't quite work out. He's had his struggles. He's dealt with an injury as well, but he's starting to pick it up right now. But Nyes has that physicality, the skill, the hands, the ability to get on the forecheck and to provide that net front presence that meshes well with Matthews' shot, Marner's playmaking, because both have good shots. I mean, Matthews on another level, but Nyes himself, he can really rip the puck, especially in the high danger slot area.
Right.
And the fact that he's on there, the fact that he has that ability, that chemistry with them going right now, it should have happened sooner than later. Like, I'm so baffled that it took that long, but he really deserved it.
If you want somebody on that left wing, I have a nice Jonathan Huberdeau you can take right now. Only for $10 million. He's all yours.
only. Okay, yeah. We got to worry about another $10 million man, William Nylander.
Okay.
So
let's put the pressure cooker on you a little bit here. I've been asking you questions about the Leafs. You got anything for me for the Flames?
How soon do you think not necessarily a panic move is going to happen, but when you think a sell-off?
A sell-off?
A sell-off. Like, they're so far gone. They're out of the picture. It's going to be really tough to climb back because of the struggles that they've had. When do you think that they start selling players off, kind of like the Tanev and Zadorov, because the Maple Leafs have been linked to them?
So, yeah, you're right. I was going to mention that too, because Zadorov has been linked. But from my little bit of research is that Zadorov does not want to be traded. He does want to stay in Calgary, which is great. Somebody who wants to stay in Calgary, that's unheard of. But to answer your question, I don't think it's a write-off yet. I would be more upset if this team is 500 by the end of the year, or excuse me, by closer to the trade deadline. If they're 500 and they're sticking around there, then it's a sell-off, right? Yeah. It's been a bad start. It's been a really bad start. But listen, I'm telling you, if they get a win tonight against your Leafs, right? 5-7-1. Right now, they're 4 points back of a playoff spot. You can't throw in the towel yet because it's this early in the season. Yeah. So when do they start selling off this team? If they're around 500 and they're not making any movement and they're not really pressuring for a playoff spot come end of February, beginning of March, then yeah, like I imagine you can do some sell-offs here. And the people that I initially start looking at is what's going to get me the most value back so that we can have a quick turnaround and let's have something good next year, because we have to find something that works with Jonathan Huberdeau, with Mackenzie Weegar, with Kadri, with all these guys. Honestly, this second line with Kadri, Sharangovich, and Zary has been unbelievable so far. And we're looking to continue with something like that, and we want to keep that close-knit. I'm hoping that they can get rid of Lindholm and Hanifin maybe in a package and get something really high back, because I love some of these young guys coming up. I think Coronado is going to find a way back into the system a little bit. So I imagine that, and they told him too, like, listen, it's nothing that you haven't done wrong. It's just that we want you to get more time, right? So they're trying to get him more time in the AHL, and I hope that that he's just getting more time on the ice, more just playing more. That's what we just need to see, right? We're not getting that right now because of the team and how it's structured. But yeah, like for selling off guys, I would imagine that they get rid of Lindholm, and I imagine that they get rid of Hanifin at the deadline. If those two guys can go and we get a really good return from that, especially with, if we can get some sort of first round pick coming up in this year's draft, then I won't say no to that. We get a high pick in the first round and a low pick in the first round. I won't say no to that at all. And at some point, like, we've got to find somebody that can step up and play with Jonathan Huberdeau, because whether we like it or not, we have to make this work. We're not going to get him. Like, let's be honest, I don't think anybody's going to take him for what he's at right now, right? I don't think it's going to be.
His value is at an all-time low.
Exactly. And I really feel for him. And how they benched him the other day, I feel for him, right? Just as a human being, I get it. It sucks. But I don't care if you're making $10 million. I don't care. Like, can you imagine if Matthews was playing like this right now and the money that he's making?
Yeah.
Like, he would get benched.
You would get concerned.
Right.
Like, it's understandable.
Get benched. Right. So I don't care who you are. And I like that Ryan Husko, the coach for the Flames, is approaching that. You can't, I don't care how much money you make. If you're playing like shit, you're going to sit on the bench.
No, and that's accountability for the player too. And, they need everyone to step up. And I was just about to ask your, opinion on the benching itself, because or not just the benching, but like Huberdeau overall, like, is it more from your side, more of like a mental aspect, like trying to overcome, this kind of major adversity? Because he's gone down from 115 to 50 points and now just 6 in 12 games. I
just wanted to mention Connor Zary just nailed the post. And
I saw that.
Right back to Joseph Woll.
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it. But to answer your question, he was never going to get back to that point production anyway, right?
Yeah.
The reason why he got to that in the first place with Florida was because of the line that he had there with Alexander Barkov. And I can't really remember who he was with there. But anyway, that line that he was with, that, like, he had a superstar in Barkov, right? Yeah. Barkov is a 1C superstar type of guy. Lindholm is not. He's not a 1C center. He's just not. He's 2C at best, right? And I think it's shown that they don't work well with each other. And I don't know if we missed something, but how did Calgary get on the power play here?
Brody hooked.
We got a big fight. Big fight. Big brawl.
Not sure.
Really big brawl coming up. Okay, well, that kind of...
I'm assuming it's going to be Simon Benoit.
And now they're getting... So was it Benoit with the... Yeah, it was TJ Brody for hooking. That was the power play that Calgary was gained. It looks like Kadri's going...
That's why it was a late whistle. It was the late whistle. Good on. This is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Too many times where there's a late whistle, a late whack on the goalie.
Oh, they're bringing the other guy in, though. They're bringing Lagesson in.
Yeah. No, but like, this is what I'm talking about. I will gladly take a penalty when
that's such bullshit. That's such a goal, man. How do you blow the whistle? Wolt does not have the puck. He doesn't know where it is.
I think, again, this
doesn't have the puck.
This is where
what the hell? He does not have the puck. This is crazy.
This is the problem with the intent to blow the whistle.
This is comes crazy. In. That's so early. He didn't even have the puck. I know you're loving this on your end, but for me, it's
no, because I could understand because it's either the act of blowing the play dead or the intent to.
That's wild.
That's what I don't get. But what I was saying before, this is what I was talking about with the Leafs team toughness.
Oh, yeah.
When there's the late whack or when the whistle happens and you see 2-3 guys jump after one another. That's what you want to see because too many times where the Maple Leafs, they hit the goal or where an opposing team hits the goalie, late whack, whatever, no response. This is why I'm starting to grow on William Lagesson because he's showing that he wants to stay.
Hey, he deserves it more than Klingberg right now, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I can understand your frustration on your end because
I don't get it.
Did he actually blow the whistle or was the intent there? Because they always go to, it was my intent to blow the whistle, which is why it should be blown dead, which, it's kind of it's kind of dumb because I can blow the whistle, but the puck crosses the line before I actually blow the whistle.
We can't hear when they blew it, but that to me, and it's tough. I get it. It's tough to review it. And, you have to know, when did he blow the whistle? But come on, Joseph Wold did not have the puck.
He didn't have full control. I will say that. He did not have full control. He kind of got lucky.
I can understand from the ref's point of view why you think he would have had it. But come on, there's no way that you you can conclusively say that he had the puck, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree with that completely, but man, we're in for a good game tonight. 2 minutes left in the first. It's still 2-1 Leafs. Flames finishing up a power play here with 13 seconds to go. I thought it was 4-on-3 because they brought Kadri and Lagesson to the box. I don't know why it's not 4-on-3. Maybe it's just offsetting minors. Is that?
Yeah, no, I think that was double minor,
okay.
Offsetting minors. That's the thing.
That makes sense. Okay.
For it's offsetting. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. The Leafs were out shooting these guys too. I know they had an early power play, but it was 8-2 at one point for the shots on goal. But so I'll ask you now, because it seems even without the power play, it does seem 5-on-5, the Flames are getting to them on the
one
second
shot.
line, Zari and Sharon Govich and that Kadri line, from what I've seen, has done really well. And I think the bottom six has played a little bit better so far than that bottom six for the Leafs. That's got to be a little bit concerning for you guys, though, going further into the season. Just having that dependability on that first line. And we've seen it from Edmonton earlier on this year. It's not helping. And that must be a concern for you guys going forward.
Yeah. And this is why the depth was a big issue. The third line is starting to come together. Calling up Nick Robertson was huge. They're dominating the AHL. He simplified his game, and he's formed great chemistry with Domi and Yarncroke at this point.
Right.
Again, you have 9 skaters right now pulling their weight. You need another 3 to do the exact same. And that's why no matter what matchup the Maple Leafs are going into, they're down 1 line because they're basically going to roll 3, and 1 is useless at that point.
So, and I know it's early, but I feel we're constantly talking about what are they going to do with the deadline, because we talk about this Leafs team a lot. We've done it early on this season as well, right? And it just seems like the same thing over and over again, where it's they've got to find better goaltending, and this defense just isn't good enough, right? So we talk about a lot of the moves that they need to make, but it's true. They have to get more, and if they don't, I don't know how they're going to get by some of these. Do you think they're going to beat the Rangers, who are 10-1-1 right now, or whatever?
Against
the Bruins too.
Yeah. Again, one of their better games was against the Bruins, despite,
True.
I was not mad with the loss in that game. I'll take the loss because that was a hard-fought game. But again, that was all coming down to the response. The Maple Leafs showed that they can keep up with them when they're on their game. Can they do it consistently? Because they have no momentum going from game to game.
That's the thing.
It's like win one, lose one, lose two, win two. You got nothing going. They got to change that.
Oh, late hit by Brody is back, or excuse me, Giordano is Backlund, and there's now huge scuffle going on here.
And also a great comment from Rachel Dory. That's a reputation call on Nazem Kadri if I've ever seen one. That's no way. That's a penalty. No. And this is where his reputation's coming in, because kind of like Michael Bunting, kind of like everybody else.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that there are some calls like even in the postseason where Kadri gets called and it shouldn't even be a call.
Right.
There have been ones in the past, like obviously with the Maple Leaf suspensions in the playoffs back to back. That was
evident.
Kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But lately, he's, tempered down. He's still in your face, but he's not crossing that line at many points.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me right there is kind of whatever. Like, even then, I think they were lucky because that shouldn't have been offsetting. That should have been probably just a 2-minute minor for Lagesson at that point.
It looks like the Flames are going back on the power play. Really? McCabe going in for roughing.
Yeah, no, that was a late
rough. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was more just a skirmish,
kind of reactionary because their Backlund really didn't hit him.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, Backlund didn't hit Wall or initiated any sort of contact.
Okay. How do you think of Camp so far this season? He's clearly your guy who's trying to win faceoff draws. Has he been doing the job? Like, how do you think Camp's done so far this season?
Kind of like Ryan Reeves at this point, miserable.
Really?
I mean,
he's just been trying to win faceoff draws. It was what it seemed like.
His decision making in high pressure situations and everything like that. Like, there have been a few great call outs or clips from Frankie Corrado breaking down certain plays with goals for, goals against. And Caps has been in the center of them quite a bit, where he's for a defensive forward with the mindset, not really. Kind of like Reeves, you have one job and you're not doing it. Camp's not doing his job at that point, and that is very concerning.
That's right. Well, we are at first intermission.
Yeah,
first intermission, and I think we're in for a good one tonight.
Oh, it's fun. It actually worked out because I came in at the best possible time. Maple Leafs are up 2-1.
Don't worry. I held down the fort for about 25 minutes before they finally dropped the goddamn puck. Friggin' ridiculous that they took forever, but they did eventually. I don't know about you, but I need a break because
same here.
My throat.
Yep.
We'll do 2 commercial breaks and we'll be back. back for the first intermission after what was a wild back and forth, whatever, one goal this way, one goal that way, one goal the other way. We're back, though, for the first intermission as the Flames are down 2-1 over the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. And
I was just about to say, I also can't remember the last time the Maple Leafs have allowed one goal after one period of play.
Ooh.
Because it's been very, very long since that has happened. Because it seems like every game they were giving up multi-goal or multiple goals a period. So I'm just thankful that the defense has kind of looked a little bit better. So
okay, I am seeing. We'll get to a lot of stuff around the league, I think, during this intermission because there's a lot that's happened recently. Especially what I'm seeing right now is Patrick Kane has narrowed his teams down. It looks like to 2 teams, and it looks like Toronto is one of those teams. Your thoughts on potential Patrick Kane coming to Toronto?
Yeah, what's funny? I did write about this when he was doing his training, and it was happening in Toronto, or he visited Toronto within, the whole entire thing happening with his recovery. Right. So I wrote about that, and I just wondered, would it be a good fit? I honestly, I'm on the fence. I really don't know for 2 things. One, on one hand, it can work out because something like this is serious. We've seen players have major surgeries come back. Jack Eichel for one, obviously different situation,
right?
But this is something where if he feels much better, the pain's behind him, and he could go back to being that elite winger, fine. It definitely could play out in the long run, whereas maybe it's just a 1-year deal, maybe 3-4 mil, try and prove himself at that point, because maybe he's not worth that 10 million anymore. The reason why I'm hesitant is the numbers aren't in his favor. But then again, maybe Chicago was on the decline for a number of years.
Maybe.
But I don't know. So, and also because he is a left wing as well, I'm pretty sure that he is a left wing. What's going to happen when, you have Matthew Nyes, who has played well, but I think he might be a right wing. I can't tell, but either way, if he's a left wing or right wing, I'm trying to find right wing. Okay. What does that do for Mitch Marner? What does that do for William Nylander? Because they're both right wings.
Yeah.
Now you can put Kane on the left wing, and maybe you have him play with Matthews and Marner, because I think Austin Matthews is a big selling point to play with Patrick Kane. You have him on the top line, and then you have Matthew Nyes with Tavares and Nylander. We know that Nyes played well with Tavares in the postseason because of all the games against Tampa Bay.
Right.
But because he's earned that opportunity, he's still in the top 6, so it's not really a demotion.
Sure.
But
man,
it's very tough because what you sign him for 1 year, it's a 1-year thing. But then again, I'm not saying it's going to be like a John Klingberg thing, but at least what you're getting with Patrick Kane because he is an elite playmaker.
True.
Klingberg has been on the decline for so long, so we'll see what happens. If Toronto does win the sweepstakes, let's see it. Let's see how it plays out because, they do need scoring depth, and then if you bump him down, then you bump Nice a second, Bertuzzi. Ooh. No, because you don't want to mess up that third line because that third line's been playing good. And then you basically put Bertuzzi on the left wing, you get rid of Reeves or scratch him, and then you put Gregor on the right side. And it's Bertuzzi, Camp, Gregor as your fourth line. That you want a $5 million player on your fourth line?
Probably not. Ugh.
That's for every. That's why it doesn't quite work out because I think his numbers have been hit or miss a lot. Offense is there, defensive side not that great, and he's been hemmed in his zone a lot. But then what does that play out for the rest of the lineup? So
correct, yeah.
How's it going, Angus? I just saw the comment.
True, yeah. He's back. What's going on? We're going back and forth tonight. You know what's funny, and I'm not trying to sound like a homer here a little bit, but
you could be a homer every now and then. It's not a bad thing.
Like just the way that these lineups, if we're just looking at just these 2 teams in general, the Calgary and Toronto. Me personally, he would fit better with Calgary, just in terms of he's a right winger.
More
with Home and Huberdeau. Not saying this will ever happen. I'm just saying in terms of how he fits within lineups. But you're right. Like, you hit the head on the noggin where I don't like how he fits in with this Leafs team a little bit, because where are you get like it just makes this lineup way more complicated than it needs to be, right? And you were mentioning it too, like, do you want Bertuzzi on the fourth line? Like, who needs to go down? Who needs to step up? Like, it's a lot of different variables that need to go into place that you have to try and make fit. So it's not so much that I don't think like me personally, I don't think you need Patrick Kane on this team, right?
Yeah.
What you need is a Patrick Kane who can maybe play defense and not score goals, who can actually play defense on this team, right?
Yeah.
So that's my concern. I think you really need to see, like, if you're going to find an addition to this Leafs team, it's going to got to come on the defensive front and maybe even the goaltending too. That's why I say that.
And even thing, the toughness too. Like, is Patrick Kane tough enough kind of to bring that snot, piss, and vinegar? Is he a snot, piss, and vinegar kind of player?
It's true.
He definitely has a skill, and he uses that to his advantage perfectly.
Yeah.
But the missing element is still the missing element for this team.
It's true. So a big part of tonight's game is the Hockey Hall of Fame inductee tonight. Mike Vernon, who played both on the Flames and the Leafs. You had, I think it was Tom Barrasso who was on the inductee list. But the biggest name, I think, is Henrik Lundqvist being on the inductee list, as they got the quiz going for TSN right now.
Oh, I love these. And especially even last year with the Hall of Fame class. I love when they get the inductees going in.
Correct. So I don't know how far behind you are on this, but they asked Mike Vernon who the greatest goal scorer he faced, and it was Mario Lemieux out of all people. And it feels right. I mean, Mario Lemieux is just an all-time stud, right? Like, I feel like that's right. And amazingly, for Henrik, if you had to guess before you see it, Henrik Lundqvist, who is his greatest goal scorer he faced?
In theory, it'd probably be Ovechkin.
You're right. It's Alex Ovechkin.
Okay. It had to be that.
Correct.
Especially when he was coming up at that same time, Ovi was coming into the league at his own. So
yes, it was
Alex Ovechkin. There, yeah.
And
so
Tom Barrasso.
Mike Vernon's answer, like, whether it's Lemieux or Gretzky, there is no wrong answer there. Like, both were, like, dangerous at that time.
Right. So
if you picked Lemieux or Gretzky, there's no wrong answer at that point. Mario Lemieux as well, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
which is funny because he did play with Lemieux, I guess, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Who is proudest individual achievement? Consistency, comeback season, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so they got all the inductees in. So that's nice. I mentioned it before you hopped on, but I think the biggest thing that we look back in terms of Henrik Lundqvist's career was the fact that he never got a cup. And he had a chance. It's not like he didn't have his chances. He was on a lot of good Rangers teams where he was in the cup final. He was
lost
to the Kings in 6.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of conference finals, which was very unfortunate. I mean, like, for Lundqvist, I just look at him and I'm like, man, like, he really did deserve a ring, right? But it's hockey, right? You gotta put up or shut up, right?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that was the case.
And that's the sad part too, with, like, some of these players going into the Hall of Fame. Like, they have, like, the resume to be Hall of Famers. Lundqvist definitely was going to be a Hall of Famer. It's just like, kind of Joe Thornton, Matt Sundin, all these great players without a ring. And that's very tough and difficult, but they at least have, like, international accolades. At least Lundqvist with Sweden, gold medals at Olympics and World Championships. So he has that going for him, has the Vezina Trophy as well. So he has had success throughout his career. But yeah, I am disappointed because that year when it was them and the Kings, I picked the Rangers to pick the cup because, I wanted Lundqvist to have that ring. Yeah.
So many times we picked them. You mentioned Sweden, and I need to bring it up because we do have a giveaway going on right now where we actually have I think we have over almost 400 people who are in on this contest right now. All you have to do is go like our post that we put up yesterday for the giveaway. You should be able to find it. I probably should pin it.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe I should pin it, but It's actually not a bad idea. I might go do that right now. But anyway, what I was going to ask you, Peter, is we're waiting through intermission here. They're just talking the Hockey Hall of Fames guys. Is who is your all-time favorite Swedish hockey player?
It may seem like a homer, but Mats Sundin.
I agree. He was my favorite too.
The first Leaf game I ever watched, Sundin was in a Maple Leaf uniform.
This is why I love Dylan, who is my partner, because he already did it. He already pinned it on Twitter, and I love it.
Is he in the chat? Because I could have sworn I saw him.
He was crushing me earlier in comments. He was saying like 6-0 Leafs. The best one that I saw earlier that he mentioned, I have to pull it up again because I pissed my pants out. He's like, because this was before that they did the puck drop, right?
Oh, I'm starting to see it right now. Who's this
1
guy?
hour car service. It turned into 4 hours this afternoon. They're slower than the Flames start to this season. So I had to laugh at that. That was funny.
The birds are being thrown tonight.
But Mats Sundin is a very good pick. But if you guys do want to go check out our THPN Twitter channel, it should be right there at the top where you can like and comment who your favorite Swedish player is. And I completely agree with you, Peter, that Mats Sundin is also my favorite player as well, too. Just growing up, like being young and only having Leaf games on our cable, he's just somebody that I always remember. And the best memory that I have of Mats Sundin is him winning in that shootout against the Flames.
Yeah. I will say this, Peter Forsberg was a very close second because like even at that time I hated the Colorado Avalanche, but respect is due. They were a damn good team and Peter Forsberg was always dominant. The moves that he would pull off is just insane. So you know what? He was a very close second.
I agree. Now, I do have an announcement because as of during the intermission, I did get an email from Everything Hockey. We are getting a second hoodie that we are giving away as well next week.
Beautiful.
So I will be bringing that up early next week, that we have been granted that we are going to give away another hoodie as well too. And I'm going to figure out the parameters of how we'll give that away. So make sure to check that out early next week, probably around Tuesday is when you guys can enter another chance to win another hoodie as, listen, these guys from Everything Hockey Everything Hockey clothing have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's been very nice. They've been fortunate to give away these great products. And you know what was funny too, and maybe I'll get your 2 cents on this, is that I was going to do, because they have some clothing for their NHL teams. And we just wanted to do the one hoodie for now, though. Just keep it simple. But this is all for the Global Series coming up next week. And the Leafs are heading out there very soon. So I'm sure that I think you guys are going to be doing one of the games actually for Sweden when they're in Sweden.
We are doing the Sunday 8:00 game.
Got it. And
very early in the morning. So we'll be.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly might do one of the
bright
games
and early
because I love the early games. Like there's one at 8 a.m., 11 a.m. I love the early games. I think it's a home run because we're not here late at night. Sometimes it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a late night. We want to go out and do other things, but you know, it's nice that they're early morning games, to be honest.
Absolutely.
So it
reminds me, I was about to say, it reminds me of the NFL games with the going in London, European cities and all that. And especially I love how they did one of those overseas games with the Toy Story game. I want that to happen with the NHL at some point because they had that Big City Greens game last year. I want them to try and do something different and unique. So
can you imagine if they do like
a Maple Leafs Toy Story game or NHL Toy Story game?
I think, but because I think it's ESPN though who has control over that, and they're partners with Disney. So I don't know if it would happen, which is unfortunate. But what do you do?
Exactly.
How are you looking forward to this Global Series coming up for the Leafs? Because I think they have 2 games out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Detroit and Minnesota, yeah.
Detroit, Minnesota. There you go.
I just want them to play well. I don't listen, I hope they win, but I want them to play very, very well because, again, the last 2-3 weeks have been very abysmal. So I am not going in with any high expectations or anything like that. I just want consistency. I think I agree. Me being very, I don't know. I want cautiously optimistic, if you want to put it that way. But Yeah, I'm taking everything as tried at that point.
Well, they were about to drop the puck here for the second period, but they took a pause. I don't know why, really. But if we have forgotten...
Right. I think this is also 14 games for Nylander with a point.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
Wrong timing, but yeah.
Wrong timing,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Nylander. I mean, anyway. As we're underway. I didn't mean to
ruin there, but...
well, hey, Flames are still on the power play here. More than likely, they're not going to score because that's how this team usually rolls.
Question for you. I mean, there's a big debate about, getting a late penalty in the end of the period and then starting on a fresh sheet of ice. What is your thoughts on a early power play to start the period?
Sucks.
Because,
sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's like, it's the worst when there's a minute left in whatever, the first period or the second period, and you get a power play. It kills the momentum. Whatever momentum you have,
so you're going the momentum.
Like, yeah, I am. Because, like, think about it. Like, if you have that minute, right? All of a sudden, we got 2-on-1 here. William Nylander is going to get another chance. Scores. Shit.
Wow. Wait.
I had to spoil it.
So wait, you're telling me William Nylander just got
he just sniped it.
Short-handed goal?
He just sniped it. Yeah, he just sniped it. Absolutely sniped it. And there goes my touchdown.
There he goes. Okay.
2-on-1, bad turnover. It was a great shot by Nylander. I'll give him credit. But again, another goal that Daniel Vidal has to get in front of.
If you were to tell me that William Nylander will score a shorthanded goal like 3-4 years ago, I probably would not believe it because he's not he wasn't the best defensively then. Oh, that was a perfect pickoff right there.
Have fun paying him.
It'll work.
That's the only thing I can say.
Hey, we still got Brandon Pridham, so I have faith.
Oh my God, this goddamn team, man.
Oh, man.
That's infuriating. This sucks. As James saying, the game's just started, dude. This game could be over. This team hasn't scored 4 goals and all season long. Oh my God. I mean, listen, I'm not surprised it's the direction that it's going, but to give up a shorthanded goal, come on. Listen, it's William Nylander and AJ Greer, AJ Greer, Gregor on the other side. What do you think Nylander's going to do? He's going to shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, especially if there's an extra forward back, the main inclination is to shoot.
I hate Leaf fans. Not you, Peter. I hate my family Leaf fans. They're all...
If it makes you feel any better, we have a bit of back and forth with my family members who are Habs fans too, so I kind of relate.
Right. But it's like, I hear it too often. I hear it way too often about this crap. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, you know we're going on a deep run this year. You know we're going to win the cup. You know.
Oh, I'm not that. Okay, yeah.
Listen,
there are the optimistic fans, but then there are the big time homers.
I hate the big time homers.
Yeah,
I really do. They piss me off. They piss me off so much. I don't hate the Leafs. I think they're a good team. They're clearly a team that should, if they get their shit together in terms of adding a little bit more pieces defensively and goaltending wise, they should be cup contenders.
Yeah.
Right? In a season so far that has been turned upside down because the Oilers are apparently the worst team in the league, anybody's got a chance, right? And I think,
unless you're the Leafs. Because even the worst possible teams, the Maple Leafs.
But I mean, great. Listen, take the Florida Panthers last year. It's not going to take much to get on a run all of a sudden. So, yeah, I mean, on a season where it looks like our heads are going to be turned upside down and we don't know what's going to happen, you should be optimistic about this team, though. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Like, as much as I hate to say it, like, and the phone keep. I'm just going to turn off my phone at this point. It's ridiculous. It's breakaway coming up here for the Flames. Chance. God damn it! It's stomped by Wool. I hate this so much. This is infuriating.
Well, there goes my hope for the Maple Leafs playing well defensively consistently. But I mean,
it was good. It was a good stop by Wool, though. He stood in front of that. He played well. Oh no! And breakaway for Mitch Marner. He goes in.
Oh, that's bad. That's a bad play by Riley at that blue line.
Yeah, not
probably
great.
should have controlled that a little bit more. He was lucky that Wall was in position.
Marner had a chance on the breakaway, and he almost had it.
And this is it. Probably coming up right now. Yeah.
Jeez. I hate this team. I love this team and hate this team. I gotta tell you, there's not a lot of time.
Did he blow by Hanifin? Future Maple. Oh, that was just inches away.
Hey, we're halfway through this game. It's 3-1 Toronto. We got a break here. What's the package? If you want Hanifin,
future Leaf Noah Hanifin.
If you want Hanifin, what's the package?
Chances are you're at least looking at prospect and pick. At least, obviously, first prospect.
You know this team. What's the prospect? Who's it going to be? And it's got to be a first round pick. There's no way it would be a second. No
way that Nyes is going. I think Nyes is untouchable. I think you're probably looking at. It's tough because if you are looking at a top prospect, what you saw from Fraser Minton, I don't think the Maple Leafs would want to part ways.
No.
Easton Cow is looking like a stud. So I'm thinking maybe Topi Niemela. If they really want to go in on Hanifin.
What about Robertson?
That's an interesting thing right now. See, here's the thing. At the beginning of the season, where the preseason wasn't that great, he got sent down. He's on fire. If he's looking for a fresh start, Calgary's a good place for that opportunity.
So he would have a second or a third. I'll do that.
I would even probably throw in a B-rated player. So like maybe Robertson second, and maybe I don't know, maybe Nick Abruzzese. That may be a bit.
I'll take that.
Maybe I think that's a bit of an overpayment, but is it third line again?
No, third line gets the Tavares line. Oh, yeah, it is that line again. Jesus, Murphy. John Tavares scores. Man. 4 goals on 14 shots. Hey, I got an idea. Where's Dustin Wolf? The ball can't stop a fucking bowling ball.
See, here's the thing. If there's a point that he comes into this game, if you're Toronto, you got to keep the pressure on. Because no offense to Dustin Wolf, like I said, I really think he's going to be the go-to guy for the Flames in the future. You cannot take your foot off the gas.
Christ, he better be.
Yeah.
I hate my family.
Just trying to see. Oh, that was a filthy pass.
I hate my family so much.
This is frustrating. Pass right there.
4-1 Leafs, second period. Hey, I told you. It's either going to be 6-1 or overtime.
See, you say you like good Leaf fans, but I think you're going to hate me because I traded away Jacob Markstrom and Ilya Samsonov previously to get Jeremy Swayman. So
true. Yeah, that's not great. But it's okay. So going back to the package real quick, going back to the package we were talking about, though.
Yeah.
So you would do Hanifin if it included Robertson for a second or a third and Abruzzese?
Maybe if it's second and a third, then I would hold off on that.
Or a third.
If you want a B-level player, because I think there may be a point where there's just going to be no spot for him. And especially on the wing. So
there would be with this team. Yeah, there would be. Yeah.
So
this goddamn team. Let's go. Again. Let's go. We're not out of this. It's Zadorov. Hits it from the point.
Sorry, I should say future Leaf Nikita Zadorov.
No, he is not going on this team. Let's go. We're not out of this. I'm smelling a comeback. It's the one game I need, Peter. It's the one game. I don't care.
Riley. I think Riley got his vision.
Right over Wall.
He got in front of Wall.
Did he?
Yeah, he as he was coming across.
That's not good for Riley. Yeah, that's not a good spot to be.
Yeah, that's
This is not over. This isn't over. Peter, there's one game I need out of all of the year. Every year we play in the NHL, there's one goddamn game, and it's this one. I don't care what they do this. I don't care if they.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, he had no chance.
I don't care if this team finishes last this year. I need this game more than anything else. This is my Super Bowl. This is it. This is all I got. All right. I got nothing else to hang on here.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this team so much.
Yeah.
And I'm shooting them too. That's the bullcrap part.
I mean, it's so very. If you want to look at it like firsthand, the shots are very even. And okay, this Keith, what? Every time there's a goal against, you go back to the fourth line.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Go to the third.
But why the fourth line? Why has that been more consistent with the fourth line, or like? Why does he keep going back to the fourth line? Connor, checking in.
I don't know.
Connor,
let's go on, Connor.
So what? Like after a goal's been deuced out
after that goal, because the first line was on, I'd go to the one with the most energy. That's the third line right now.
Okay, fair enough. I need one. One.
Oh, Huberdeau got an assist.
Ah, great. took you 25 games to do it, but he got it eventually. I still feel bad for him, but it's like, at some point you're getting paid that kind of money. You got to do something.
If you're being paid like a $10 million, and that's the thing too, like you're being paid $10 million to barely get 50 points at that point.
But it's like, okay, for this team, they need to sell Lindholm and Hanifin, whatever else. I don't care. However you fix it, sell these guys off, get high picks, get whatever you need. Save up some cap space and go after somebody in free agency. Yeah. Somebody will play with Huberdeau at some point. They're going to look in that and go, you know what? I think I can play with them. Because Lindholm and Huberdeau can't play with each other. And we've seen that for 90 games this year. It's not this year, but for the course of how long he's been here. Yeah. So I haven't seen it with Huberdeau and Lindholm. It's not there. These guys can't play with each other. We're not stupid. But at some point, like, you've got to go after free agency and think, hey, we got a juicy $10 million player who needs to play with somebody, and you can be that goal scorer. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm selling this team off too high, but you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Bad pass up the middle or into the middle.
Well, we got a question from Connor here. Does Toronto have to fly straight back afterward for the game against Vancouver? No, they're in Toronto tomorrow night, right?
No, it's 2 games back to back.
Yeah,
so they're already home. Yeah,
they're home
after this homestand, because it is a 4-game homestand. They do fly out to Sweden.
Last weekend, I was in Vancouver and went to see St. Louis play the Canucks.
Oh, I forgot to ask. How was your trip?
Yeah, it was good. It was honestly a lot of fun. Like, got a lot of good stuff done. It was very productive. But like, just in terms of the game that we went to, if there's an arena that does it right in terms of entertainment, it's Vancouver, hands down. Like that building was unbelievable. Like for every, like the fans were just in it. Honestly, it helps when they win 5-0 over the St. Louis Blues. But in terms of just like pure entertainment and how they like engage the fans, and they have the biggest jumbotron in the NHL. I didn't know if you know that, but now they have this new jumbotron there, and it's huge. Like I was genuinely shocked by how fun that night was with like just being there. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So, I mean, really recommend going to a Canucks game because that was like, they're doing something right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't speak for experience, but the way that you're selling it, it makes me want to go to a game right now.
Well, I mean, for what it is, like it helps when you have a new arena.
That too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you know, and I know with old arenas that we're in, like, well, how long have the Leafs been in there for? Like 20? No, it's not 20 years.
Scotiabank / Air Canada Center has been around since 2000. So you're looking at 23 years.
Yeah, so over 20 years.
Yeah.
You think they find, I don't know, like in the next 10 years, are they still in this barn?
I mean, I think there's potential of probably like doing some renovations and like modernizing it, because especially downtown Toronto, where are you going to put the arena? There's no other place to do so. I think maybe just renovate it, build it up a little bit more, modernize it. Until then,
for those of you wondering, by the way, it's intermission. We're just killing time here.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to next Sunday because we have to go down to Toronto General Hospital, and I'm just not looking forward to it just because of
Is that
traffic.
okay?
Oh yeah, just family. Like there's a plane
Oh.
we have to go to. It's not a huge deal.
Oh, okay. I know. As soon as you say going to the hospital, I'm like,
sorry.
okay.
We're good. But it's just
time to get serious for a moment. Like,
no, we're good.
No, that's all that matters.
There is
all that matters. Yeah. Oh no, especially like parking anywhere, like traffic, everything. Like it is. Yeah.
So okay, because we're from this area, you know where I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend to like for the Toronto? Where is the General Hospital? Like
Toronto General, I think is like along Hospital Row. So I think like near Queen's Park, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, the Toronto General Hospital is on Hospital Row. No shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like Leon. You kind of felt like Leon there. Yeah. Great observation. I believe that's where it is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that.
I didn't even mean to be Captain Obvious.
No. It's okay. I thought it was
Toronto General Hospital is on Hospital Row. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
No shit. But it's like I hate it because it's like it's early in the morning. Everybody's going to work, and it's going to be on. Well, sometimes on Sunday, it doesn't matter what morning.
I think so. I think because it's a weekend, it may be a little bit better. I can't it being that. When are you going? This weekend? Next weekend?
It's next Sunday. Not this Sunday. Next Sunday.
Oh,
Black Friday.
Sunday after that? No, maybe the Santa Claus parade.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was trying to say, I'm like, something's probably like there's
the Subway
nothing, but I'm like, wait.
Subway better? Do you think?
Yeah. Especially if you're going down to like that Queen's Park area, probably. Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Okay, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, because it's the 20th or that weekend that you're going. Yeah, that's a Santa Claus parade, I think.
Connor makes a good point here. Actually, it's true. Like usually they have the home team on the right normally, and they have the Flames here on the right, but they're in Toronto for this one, so it is strange.
Yeah,
I'll give them credit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either.
Yeah, we had fun nights against the Blues. We made Bennington's night very uncomfortable. Yeah, it was a bad night for the Blues, man. Like they were. It's not like the Canucks were like 10 out of 10 perfect. It's just the fact that the Blues were just so bad.
Yeah. I have a question for you, even though you're not a Canucks fan.
Sure.
But what do you make? Like, is this start for the Canucks sustainable to you? Like, can they keep it going, or is it going to probably fizzle out at some point because you know that they're not necessarily some holes in their lineup, but this is still kind of the same team from last year where this is one of those things where it could go off the rails and they could go into a slump very quickly.
Yeah, I think this team makes the playoffs because of the start that they've had and how bad Edmonton's been, how bad Calgary has been, how bad Seattle has been, how average the Coyotes have been, how average the Ducks have been. I think the Canucks by default will make the playoffs. By no means do I think this team is going to go anywhere, though. No way. You can't convince me that this team goes on a deep run, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
Because they're top heavy again with Pettersson, Besser, JT Miller. Quinn Hughes has been on a sensational start. Like he's probably top 4-3 MVP candidate right now.
Yeah, I mean he's my Norris candidate right now.
Right. He's been that good. So to answer your question, I don't think it's sustainable. It's a big word for me. I think that I don't know. I think they make the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but if they run into a team like the LA Kings, maybe in the first round, okay, you can scrap your way out of that first round, but no one's getting through Vegas this year. There's
no. That division, that just hand it to Vegas right now.
There's nobody who's going to take down Vegas in that division. No shot. No way. You get in that playoff time again, and the fact that they just won the cup, you think anybody in the Pacific's going to beat these guys now? Now that Edmonton's out of the picture?
No.
No way.
Vegas is they're the big dog on the playground right now. They're top dog.
Yeah. They have a default bye to like the second round already.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody's beating that team. Like they're too good. So I like Vegas in that division. But to answer your question, like for Vancouver, I think they get in by default and they may or may not win a round, but they're not going further than that. It's not a deep enough team.
Yeah. Second question for you. I'm kind of liking asking the questions to you right now.
I love it. Keep firing away.
Yeah. So obviously, not ideal situation. This is more of an NHL draft question. I don't know if you're keeping
a draft question. We're in November.
Yeah. Because I'm a prospects guy, it's draft day all day or every month.
All right, fair enough. I'm in on it.
So I don't know how close you're keeping tabs on some of the prospects, but from this mock draft that I'm seeing, the Flames are listed to get Cole Yzerman as the second pick behind, San Jose, who's going to probably, tank hard.
Right.
I'm just curious your thoughts. Who would you what is your ideal pick at number 2? But then again, standings could change. Let's do a top 10 pick.
So the name that I see that keeps popping up in our community that I follow, I guess, is Celebrini. I think.
Yeah, so he's the projected first overall.
He's projected first. Okay. He's a name that comes up a lot for this team. So I don't know if that's a consensus number 1 pick. I don't know what. Listen, I haven't looked that far. He is probably
the consensus number one pick at this point. So I don't know if Calgary will be that bad to overtake San Jose at this point, but yeah, no. He's definitely a very good prospect.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the only name I can think of right now, to be honest with you. I think it's early. I don't know much about the prospects. Outside of Connor Bedard last year, I didn't really hear much about Fantilli until March, April. Yeah. Right? Didn't hear much about Leo Carlson until March, April. Same thing. So I think it's early to disclose that, but it's nice that we have a top 10 protected pick, which is great. But that's what I mean with this team. If you're gonna suck, please just suck. Just please lose these games, because
don't try and show any fight at this point.
Right. Just get inside the top 10, man. Because if they don't, and they're a mid team, that pick goes to Montreal because of Sean Monahan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're gonna suck, do it now.
If that gets outside the top 10,
it's not protected. Yeah, that's my worry. So I don't want this team to go on a run. And I've been harping it since the beginning now. This team's not good enough. And I think they need to start playing their rookies. They need to start playing some of these young guys. They need Wolf to start playing. He needs experience this year. This is a write-off for this year for this team.
Yeah.
This is a write-off. And if they can get some of their young guys going, Dustin Wolf, Zari, who's been having a great start to the year, Coronado, if he can find his footing back into this lineup, having more minutes, and he scores. This is not over yet. This is not over. AJ Greer, former Bruin, and it's 4-3. We are not still being bad. We are not done yet. I think it was AJ Greer. I could have been totally wrong about that. As I go on my rant about this team sucking, and all of a sudden they score their third goal and they're back in it.
Oh my God, McCabe, tie the stick up, for crying out loud.
Greer, shot goes
fourth
way
line
high.
Again. Oh my God.
They had Tavares out there, though, and it is AJ Greer who tips it from Mackenzie Weegar, who barely kept it in on the blue line. Woll didn't really have a chance at that. I don't blame him at all for that. As the fourth line out there with John Tavares, and all of a sudden it's a 4-3 game. Oh, man. So anyway.
There goes my hope of, having 3 goals or less in one damn game.
Man. But it's so you mentioned it earlier, though, with Ryan Reeves, right?
That went off him. I know he probably punched that.
I thought this game was
reaction?
Over.
Yeah.
How is this a hockey game right now? I don't get it. This should not be the way.
He's mad. He knows that.
Yeah, for sure. As
I want to know if he's being benched right now, because it looked like he was at the far end of the bench.
He probably should.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here with Ryan Reeves, right? He's only good for fighting. He's only good for trying to pump his team up.
But even then, he's barely done that.
But, I mean, really, at this point in his career, what's he done other than really trying to get engaged in some fights, backing his guys up if he can? and getting his team somewhat engaged, right? What has he done when it comes to actually playing the game?
Mm-hmm.
You know this more than I do, right? And I know Steve Dangle was talking about it too, how he was harping on the fact that he's seen enough from this team as they go to commercial break here for us. They've been harping about it too. And it's true. Like sometimes, listen, we saw it with Vegas in the playoffs this year where you need consistent all four lines, all three lines defensively being that guy, right? And if you look at that fourth line too for Vegas and how they went on that cup run, it's not a joke of a fourth line. It is a good fourth line that they have, right?
Yeah.
So
and that's why you need high energy, skilled, physical guys.
Right, exactly.
Reeves is only physical. Well, even then, you hardly see that every time. Okay, so I don't think he's at the end of the bench, but yeah.
At Edmonton, we have crap goalies trying to hold my pale ale. I love it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But do you think he's overrated, as Connor mentions here? Is he that overrated?
Again, I kind of like I was hoping like New York Rangers Ryan Reeves, and that was like a short time ago. Not getting that whatsoever.
Sure. Okay.
So at this point, yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely overrated.
Lindholm's so close to tying that game. Sorry. So close to tying the game.
And
it is all.
Here's the thing. Here's the
right
thing for me. The top line has been absolutely like invisible to me. Oh, he tripped up.
Do you think the top line tonight? Yeah. No, it's good. No,
that one right there. That one right. Oh, and then he just hugs the bar. Okay.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's been good.
Yeah. I really haven't been impressed with the top line. I barely noticed them.
But if there's any time for them to show up, it's going to be in this third period, right? Like, let's be honest here. McCabe's shift right now is he's almost a minute and 30 into this shift. He's been on the ice for a while. So it was an almost breakaway there for Connor Zary again. Man, he's been so good for this team. He's been so good. Calgary's applying all the pressure in the world. McCabe is still out there. He has not, they even brought the puck out into the neutral zone, and he still hasn't gone out for a change yet.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
he's still out there.
Imminent goal against.
It's a bad giveaway. Now he's going to get a chance to change, but he's been out there for over 2 minutes. They still show it. He's finally off.
40.
Holy shit!
On my screen, but
well, it's basically it was at 2 minutes for McCabe for finally getting off. But oh my God, it took him forever. I got to tell you, we got to do this game again whenever they come to Calgary.
Yeah,
because it's been nothing but fireworks.
Yeah.
But going ahead,
you're not seeing him for another 2-3 shifts.
Oh God,
because he is completely gassed out.
Well, so the next game will be middle of January and 9:00 Eastern. Not terrible, not bad.
I've seen worse times.
Listen, there's games I'm doing coming up in December for Calgary, and they have home games like them being out there.
10 o'clock. Yeah.
No, they have home games at 4:00.
Oh, really?
On a Thursday. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. Like, you guys should be playing at 9 or 10 o'clock anyway.
Mm-hmm.
3:40 to go here in the second. Leafs up 4-3. Shots are pretty low, actually. 20-18 for the Leafs are the shots. It's been pretty back and forth in terms of shots. But like you mentioned, this first line's been very quiet, but they're out there right now with Matthews, Marner, and it looks like Tyler Bertuzzi as they have all the pressure in the offensive zone. And now they don't.
They had all the momentum.
And they just
had all the momentum. That Morgan Riley screen on wall kind of did not do anything.
Correct. So, yeah, I mean, they have been quiet tonight, but at some point, I like to think, the player that Matthews is, he's going to find some sort of way to get going here. Mangiapane with a chance just goes wide as Calgary's back pressuring again here with 2:52 to go here. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be a homer here, man, but this second period, Calgary has.
It was all Calgary
back. Well, no, Toronto kind of got in front a little bit. It's been half and half, but the second period has been
since the 15.
Yeah, it's been
15-minute mark.
Yeah, it's been Calgary.
It was all been Calgary. Yeah,
but again, you can't let whatever, those 2 early goals in. Like, one of them Vladar had to have. One of them was shorthanded, too. Like, he can't have that.
Yeah.
Well, I am glad, though, that now we're starting to get a good game together. I thought this was just going to be a blowout, but now...
Oh, my Lord.
Wall came really far out of his net, but he's lucky that he didn't... Oh, man, he was so lucky. Excuse me, he was so lucky on that. You'll see it in a second.
Yeah, I just saw the Matthew shot that just went wide.
Oh, yeah.
Not wide, but...
Listen, if I can get a point out of tonight, I'll take a pity loss. But, like mentioned, like, I know you asked me earlier, if you're going to lose, if you're going to tank, just do it now for this team.
Yeah.
Just do it. This team ain't going anywhere this year. We know it, right? Mm-hmm. And, hey, if that's the thing, like with Brad Treliving being in Toronto, it does make a lot of the guys here in Calgary suitable candidates to be there. So,
because he's the one that brought him in,
right?
That's why we're eyeing Zadorov.
Correct. The problem is for you guys, good chance there for Calgary. Okay, I was gonna say the problem with Brad Treliving being there is that Craig Conroy has been through this management for a couple of years now, and he knows what he has with this team.
Yeah.
Now that he has the helm, and he's going to look at Brad Treliving and go, "Look, we're not selling short on these guys, right?" And we know what we have with this team. We know that you're now over there, and we know the type of person that you are in order to make these type of deals, right? So,
oh my God, shoot!
And we know. Morgan. And we know that Brad Treliving either is not a type of guy. He's going to pull the trigger if he has to. We saw it with the Kachuk trade, right? And it really wouldn't surprise me if there was a deal to be made later on this season between these two teams. Let's be honest here. Like, if Treliving is going to pull the trigger here, it's going to be with this team. Let's be honest here, right?
Absolutely.
And if there's anybody going to go, it's, like, I think Zadorov is going to find a way to stay here. Toronto getting all the pressure in the world here, last 20 seconds here in the second period. And Giordano keeps it in. Still a good chance. Stop, rebound. What a save by Vladar. Under 10 seconds left, and they finally end it here in the second as Leafs had a really good chance to end it. Oh, my God. And they had a good chance, too, with 1 second left. It was, I think it looked like it was Max Domi. As the Leafs got close, and they could... Oh, and Giordano and Backlund are going at it. They're yelling at each other, pissed off, and so is Zadorov, too.
I love how Giordano, at 40 years old, is doing Ryan Reeves' job.
Well, you have to understand why this game means a lot to him, too, right? In terms of Giordano and even TJ Brody as well, too.
Yeah, they've been longtime Flames.
Exactly. So... but to finish up my point, as we're now entering the second intermission here, and we'll take a break in a minute, is you mentioned Zadorov earlier. I don't think he leaves this team. I think he's clearly mentioned from what I've seen and what I've read and from sources like guys like Elliot Freeman and that, they've said that he wants to stay with this team. And I think they're going to find a way to extend him maybe for 2 years. But if there's anybody I see going to Toronto, probably going to be Noah Hanifin because you guys need him, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll talk more about that going into the intermission. And I think we need to talk about Edmonton because we haven't brought that up tonight. And it is fairly fresh in our heads.
Yeah.
And because the Flames are losing right now, I need to talk about Edmonton. So
exactly.
Okay, we'll take another 2 commercial break, and we will be back after a quick message from our sponsors. I'm back for the second intermission. Peter, we'll give him a minute. As our new show that's came on, Puck and Pigskin, has came on to THPN. It has been a crazy game. It was a game that I thought was a little bit out of reach, but all of a sudden the Flames have found themselves back into this game a little bit more, and it is 4-3 Toronto as we head into this third period here. But yeah, it's been a wild game, and Peter knows it as well too. You haven't missed much, just got back on. But just we had one of our new shows just quickly mention that it has been kind of a crazy game so far, because at one point, like, it was a quick start, then it slowed down, and then it looked like this game was out of reach, and now all of a sudden we have a third period, and it has been a little bit unorthodox to both of our likings, I'm sure.
That's why I got this still.
That's right.
That's why I still got the Festivus poll right here for us to still air our grievances. So I would like to pass this over to you kind of virtually.
Where did you get that?
So there's this place called Retro Festive.
Okay.
And it's basically a pop culture Christmas shop. And lo and behold, they had them there. I don't think they have anymore.
Is it in the Distillery District?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, they're in Oakville.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're They're way out there.
Okay, anyway, continue. Sorry, I thought I remembered it from there. Anyway, go ahead.
I did get this at the EXO because they were down there, and they have like pop-up shops, or they come in yearly.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So I saw it, and I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving here without this.
That's amazing.
Because it is iconic.
That's awesome.
Festivus for the rest of us. You just pass that around. I have a lot of problems with you people.
Why don't you just hold this and let it be?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Jerry Stiller.
Rest in peace, indeed. Also, rest in peace to Matthew Perry, if you ever.
Yeah, that was
hard, crazy.
Like, that was rough.
Yes. Okay, so 4-3 Leafs as we are in the second intermission here. We'll talk more about this game, obviously, as we get into the third period. But I think we haven't really talked about much tonight about the Oilers and them being. We'll call it as it is. They lost to the San Jose Sharks last night, and they're dead last. And I don't know about you, but I felt like I was the only person watching that game last night because it felt like the biggest toilet bowl in NHL history. But I think what was crazy, and I was kind of mentioning this at the beginning before you jumped on earlier, was that team was so much better than the Sharks last night, and it was showing. They were clearly the better team that just wasn't getting shots. Excuse me, they just weren't getting the pucks in the net, and they just weren't finding the correct bounces, right? And it was unfortunate to see that, because the Sharks, as they created they had the one turnover, they went up 3-1 last night, and then they just sat back in the third period and played defense for the rest of the game. So it was surprising to see that Edmonton really double shifted McDavid and Draisaitl, and they couldn't really get anything out of it until the last minute of the game to finally pot one in. And I asked to you, Peter, because you know how I feel about this Oilers team as the crosstown rivals. Maybe more as an outsider, but what do you do with this team going forward? They're the worst team in the NHL. They had these high expectations to win the cup this year, and this is where they're at.
See, here's the thing. Usually the coach is the one to get the axe.
Right.
I don't think that kind of like Todd McLellan previously, I don't think he was at fault. It's all based on the moves that the general manager made. And I think Ken Holland has not done enough to literally improve their team. I mean, their offseason acquisition, their biggest one was Connor Brown. If you're trying to rekindle that McDavid Brown chemistry from the Erie Otters back in 2014 and 2015,
you're doing something wrong.
That's years ago. Connor Brown is at best a second line forward, and McDavid is on another tier. I mean, yeah, he had good results in Ottawa. But if you're thinking that chemistry was going to be back together, there was no way that was going to work out, and it's not working out right now.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, signing Jack Campbell to that contract really didn't help them.
I didn't think
really bad.
I didn't think he was going to be that bad.
There were signs where that season, when he was about to become a free agent, he had the 2 good months, and then he fell off after that. Well, it was a struggle for him to try and So he was trying to maintain his presence as a starter, and it just wasn't enough. Even saw that in the postseason where he had a couple of bad games as well.
Right.
Goaltending still an issue. Defense is still an issue. Evan Bouchard has looked awful at this point. I'm seeing a lot of John Klingberg with the decisions that he's making offensively, defensively, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that there's still more to be done with this team. Like,
right.
no way that you were literally trying to rely on McDavid and Draisaitl to outscore your problems. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is definitely not a 100-point player again.
Well, he did score yesterday. He was the only guy that really contributed. So
fair enough, but it's going to hit the century mark again. Is
correct.
Say great career year, but kind of like Huberdeau, you're going to take that step back.
Is it fair to say that Nugent Hopkins is he's out of his prime of his career? Like, he's over it? Or is he still trying to find his way in it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know how old he is. I want to say that he's at least like 28, 29.
No. What? Nugent Hopkins? No way. Let's find out. I'm looking it up. No way. Nugent Hopkins. He's 30. Okay.
30. Okay. Well, he's older than I had him.
I didn't realize he was 30, but all right.
Yeah. At 29, he had a 100-point season, and his career best was 69 before that.
I want to know where he is when he's 34.
I think you're still going to be maybe 40, 50 at best.
Man.
That's what I think, because you really haven't. He's been good, but he hasn't gotten, like, it seemed like that 60-point guy or 60-point player, that was his kind of peak.
Right.
Until last season. And then now everybody's taking that step back. So I don't know what to make of him anymore at this point.
Sure. I was going to say the only good thing that maybe Oilers fans can hang their hat on is the fact they do have their first round pick coming up this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless they trade that immediately for more help, either up front or on the back end.
Don't know if you can, though.
At that point, you're trying to salvage the season.
Exactly. What's crazy is that we talk about McDavid and Draisaitl. Draisaitl's only got 2 years left on his contract. That's it.
Yeah.
And McDavid, he's only got 3 years left on his $12.5 million contract. That's it. And with a lot of these guys, like, what's crazy is that Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins both have 5+ more years on this contract.
Yeah.
Like, Evander Kane's got 3 more years on it, and everybody else has 1 to 2 years left. It's and the crazy
feels like their window is closing.
The crazy thing is that Darnell Nurse, who's been just taking the heat, has 7 years left on his new deal.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's getting paid $9.2 million for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
I don't get, like, man, I don't know.
The good thing is the cap is going up. And so they have that going for them.
Bro.
But at one point, are they going to say, hey.
Matthias Ekholm has been crap for this team, too, and he's getting paid $6 million for the next 3 years.
See, I thought that was a good acquisition.
Me too.
At that time.
Yeah.
But because he was dealing with an injury to start the season. I don't know if he's still fully recovered. And even so right now, McDavid came back from that, back injury before the Heritage Classic.
Right.
You got to wonder if they rushed him back or he rushed himself back.
It's not a good sign for this team. Like, it just seems like such bad timing because I'm looking on Cap Friendly right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
good old Cap Friendly.
I love Cap Friendly. It's so good. So with McDavid and Draisaitl, you got 2 to 3 years left on their contract. We don't know if they're going to resign. If they continue down this downward spiral, I don't know. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what Draisaitl's contract looks like come July 1st. With 1 year left on his deal, like, does his no movement clause come into play? Like, I want to know what it looks like.
I want to know if he tries to command not necessarily more than what McDavid is right now, but I think if Matthews is the highest paid player in the league right now.
So with
Draisaitl has that case for him where he can make more than Matthews.
Right. With Draisaitl's contract, he has a no movement clause and a 10-team trade list starting July 2022. So now he doesn't have a no movement clause that kicks in, right?
I've seen modified no trade clause, but then there's also no movement clause.
That's what I saw too as well. Yeah. I want to know, man, like, because then that window opens for extension, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, with 1 year left on his contract after this year, when the Oilers, I don't know if they make the playoffs this year, man. I don't know if they do it.
I think you're looking at a lottery pick for them if they continue playing like this.
What does not help is the fact that they have Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evander Kane on long-term deals.
Yeah.
Because they've been dog shit this year for this team. And it's not like McDavid and Draisaitl have been better, but it's not helping.
Yeah, it seems like the Stars have taken a step back, but the depth players have taken an even bigger step back. To be honest, I think the best player, I think it's been Warren Fogle.
I completely agree. I agree.
And he's on like just under $3 million. And
1 year on his deal, right?
And again, 6 points in 12 games. Obviously, it's not great, but
yeah. And
he's probably getting like top 6 minutes as well at this point.
And exactly, he might not have a lot of bargaining, as our guy is saying, like our Puck and Pigskin podcast saying here. I don't know, man. I'd like to think we're in a bad spot, but like at least we can revamp a little bit with
everyone is saying Toronto's in a bad spot. I think Edmonton is even in a worse spot.
I agree. I think they're in a much worse spot because, like, what does McDavid really want to stick around if he has to? Like, if Draisaitl goes, let's play.
I'm gonna say when you're done, I want to say something, and everyone's gonna probably yell at me and call me a homer.
And then you say your point. Yeah. If Draisaitl goes, let's just say he goes, just as an example, right? Why should McDavid stay? Why should he play with guys like Evander Kane, Zach Hyman, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who've basically been dog water for this team for the past 11, 12 games, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense for him to stay. And his cup window, man, in his prime years, it might not be that long, right? Yeah. And hey, like, he's a generational player, and I get it, but he needs to play with guys on a true top line. You can't just stick Draisaitl on that top line and expect them to double shift and then shit to work out. Your point.
That is just the recipe. That's just your go-to. That's kind of like the Maple
Leafs. That's their only go-to. That's their fail-safe.
That's kind of like and I kind of agree that's kind of like the Maple Leafs with when you stack up the line of Nylander, Matthews, Marner.
Right.
But, they at least have some depth down below. And everyone is saying that, or everyone's kind of like harping on the core four that they're getting paid too much. Well, this year, the core four is stepping up. At least they're being more productive than Edmonton's top four at this point.
And it's true. Like, Sam Gagner actually has been one of the better players, and he's getting paid $770,000 a year for the 1 year, right? Like,
yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say a hot take, though.
Not a hot take, but like, how everyone says, Matthews is going to jump ship to Arizona and everything like that.
No, it's ridiculous.
Let's bring Connor McDavid home.
There's no
bring him home. Probably no way it's going to happen on, especially if you're still going to have like Matthews, Marner, and Nylander earning like, 7 digits.
Let's have this conversation because we're still in intermission right now. We're just waiting for third period to start. Yeah, let's play hypotheticals. Why not? If Draisaitl goes, he's going to be the first to go, right? Because his contract ends sooner than McDavid does. And if he wants a chance to sign this extension, Edmonton would probably want to know this summer. If he does not want to sign, where does he go?
Yeah.
He probably wants to be the star on the team, right? He probably doesn't want to be in McDavid's shadow anymore, right?
Yeah.
If he wants to go, where's a good fit?
That's a good question.
It's a tough say, man. It really is.
A lot of teams are pressed up against the cap.
That's the problem.
A lot of the playoff teams are pressed up against the cap.
Right.
So that's a big problem right there. If Draisaitl's going anywhere, he's going to like a mid-tier, like he's going to a playoff team, but not a very high competitive team.
Sure. You know where he could go? Detroit. Yzerman would be the type of guy to make that move.
He would make a big-time deal. I mean, they have the draft capital. The picks and the prospects, they definitely have it.
He totally would. He totally would do that. Because the Red Wings are currently – because it's funny with the Red Wings how they did start off very well. Yes, they've tailed off a little bit, but you're talking about that mid-type team.
Yeah.
That's all it would take, man. And there's a very real possibility that if he doesn't want to sign an extension, I really could see that. That feels like a nice, sexy little spot for him to end up. But anyway,
I wonder if, like, obviously they still have, great wing players in LA.
right.
I wonder if maybe because LA has the draft capital as well.
Maybe. Kopitar ending his career. I don't know. Kopitar's coming to the end of his career.
But my thing of why that doesn't work out is Quentin Byfield has looked great on his wing this year. So you don't want to deter that from him.
True.
Also when they're very competitive right now, they're like the second team in the West. So, but they do have picks, prospects,
who else has
everything that can make the deal to land Draisaitl.
Well, so third period getting underway here, I should mention.
Yes.
So I mentioned Detroit. I'm just looking at the standings here, just out of base, like you said, like with capital and all that, because I think this is a very good conversation that we need to have.
Yeah.
What if Anaheim gets in the mix?
Ooh.
What if they get in the mix here? Because they have prospects to give up.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And here's my thing, too.
It wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, go ahead.
See, here's the thing. They drafted Leo Carlsson for a reason. They imagine him as the star center for them in the future. Because him and McTavish up the middle, I think that's a good combo. I don't think you're looking to move him, but...
Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah, could he look for a fresh start? I'm just going to go down and see who they have. It would
not surprise me if we play hypotheticals here. They're just going back and forth here. Nothing crazy is going on.
Jamie Drysdale, but you also look at because see, here's the thing. I don't think because they're rebuilding, I don't think they would give up prospects like Mintyukov, Zellweger, Tristan Luneau, Nolan Warren. I think those are key players for them in the future.
But the thing with that is that they have so much to give up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They have Drysdale, they have Zellweger, they have Zegras, they have McTavish. The list goes on with this team. They've got the goddamn Leo Carlsson there.
Because there was kind of like that contract issue with Zegras.
Right.
I wonder if there's some like, bad blood between the two sides right now that maybe you move him out.
Listen, I'm not a GM or anything, but I really like the Detroit Anaheim looks here because they're looking for that next step. And Dreiss, if he wants to be that guy, if he wants to be the face of a franchise, seems like the right spots to do it.
I see Puck and
Am I missing a team though? Like, what do you think? Like, is there somebody like I know we had Puck and Pigskin mentioned again, like Vegas. I mean, even though they have Jack Eichel right now, there's no way they could fit
if they do. Okay, so Vegas getting all these star players through trades is the equivalent of Oilers getting constant first-round picks and totally screwing it over. But this works in Vegas's favor because they've done a damn good job.
Right.
So, yeah, but then again, their prospect field is very weak.
Right.
In my opinion. If you do move up or try and get him, you're looking at like a roster player. You're like,
right.
Do you get rid of, I don't know. See, that's tough. Do you get rid of Shea Theodore? Do you get rid of your captain? That's the thing. These are that's your core right there. You're in. Okay. If I'm Vegas, I'm content with what I have because this is still the roster that had very little turnover. I can understand if they do try and snag him.
Right. I love the Kings. How you brought them up.
Yeah.
Is it crazy if the Canucks go for it? Is that crazy?
No. I mean, yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy because
I don't think it'll ever happen. Because I think they like their core.
They like their core, but also like they've had a weak system for a long time too. Like I think Lekara-Mackey's starting to pick it up right now. I love the Tom Verlander pick. I don't see them giving up either or.
So
in order to acquire him.
The reason why I brought up Vancouver, they're 10-2-1. Is Elias Pettersson that guy to lead your team to a cup? Can he be a top guy, your first, second, or third guy to lead your team to a cup?
Yes. I think he's shown the consistency to do so. If you look at like his first 3 seasons or 4,
60
points in each one.
Fuck. You know, I just realized.
And also that one season where he had 21 and 26, that was a COVID year, and the Canucks were not that great at all.
I just realized how stupid of a take that was. The guy's got 7 goals and 17 assists. He's got 24 points.
24 points in 13 games. Yeah, so he is the guy.
So, man, it's regular season, right?
It is regular season.
It is regular season. Antonio was saying, "Go Flames, go!" I know we should mention okay, we got to get back to the game here a little bit here.
Yeah,
I know. We third period here.
You know that we still love the hypotheticals. I love
pressuring here. Scramble in front of the net. He scores. We're tied. It's 4-4, baby. It's Martin Pospisil. We are tied in Toronto.
The fourth line.
It's 4-4.
No, it's the top line.
Martin Pospisil. We are tied in Toronto.
What is Jake McCabe doing?
My goodness. What a comeback. Martin Pospisil scramble in front. He just buries it under Joseph Woll, and we are tied in Toronto. What is going on right now? The second we stop talking about Edmonton, and we're fucking rolling with this Flames team, down 4-1, and we are all tied up right now. Wow. What a game. What a game.
All right. I'm looking towards the NHL draft right now. What the Maple Leafs can get with a top 10 pick.
What a game.
I am already hoping that the Maple Leafs get a top 10 pick right now.
We are tied up. And they're continuing the pressure. I love how we stopped talking about it. There was a stretch up front, and then they potted it home. That's crazy. I can't believe we're tied at 4.
I think Ignacio Antonio was good luck for you because he came in and then they scored.
Amazing timing.
Yeah, that was probably perfect timing.
That's okay too. I mean, I know I'm a little bit ahead of you. I try not to spoil. I'm trying so hard.
No, it really is difficult. Don't worry about it.
Listen, if I had Sportsnet, we'd be fine. But apparently they want to show the game on TSN, which is great. But I mean, TSN needs to go away. We are tied at 4. Low shots, though, 23-21. The Leafs lead in shots. And you're right. The top line hasn't been much tonight.
Then again, Jake McCabe really can't defend there.
Also true. Yeah.
I was so mad at that. And here we go. We're probably going to get a third line goal at some point.
Well, no, you got nothing yet. I'm ahead of you. We're good. Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at top 10 picks for the Maple Leafs this year.
How the hell are we tied right now? What is going on?
So I think the Maple Leafs should get Macklin celebrating.
Okay, good.
For
anybody Flames fans out there watching, that was Martin Pospisil's first goal as an NHL rookie. So we love rookies getting their first goal.
And the tradition for the Maple Leafs continues.
Worst goals against at home per game this season. The Leafs are dead last with 4.86 goals against at home. They're the worst team in the league when it comes to goals against at home. What does that tell you?
It tells me that Brad Trelawney better get on the damn phone right now and start making moves. Because that is unacceptable. You're allowing close to 5 goals against. That is unheard of.
Right.
No playoff team is going to win games.
2-on-1. Tavares gets a chance. And it's Daniel Ledar. What a save. Scramble in front. And they missed the net completely. The Leafs had a wide open net and they can't finish it. How are they going to finish that?
Yeah, I'm way behind.
Nylander was what? You'll see it too. It's unbelievable. I didn't have a good view on it, but Nylander had a 2-on-1 right now. Yeah, 2-on-1. Tavares. He had a wide. Nylander had a wide open net, and he could not.
Did that go off his mask?
I don't know. I completely missed it.
Nylander shot it right at his pad when he's in desperation mode.
Boom, boom, boom. Scrambling front. Nylander, wide open net. Oh, he just missed the net completely. He had a wide open net and just missed it. What a game we got going here. Vladar, though, standing on his head here in the third period as Nylander with a grand opportunity. As Antonio was from Chile, living in Calgary for 6 months. Flames fan last Tuesday. Went to watch the games in Nashville and was fantastic. Honestly, the Saddledome's great.
Beautiful.
I love the Saddledome.
Beautiful.
But it's got to go. It's got to go.
That sequence makes me want to vent my frustration out on this team.
We have 2 goalies very much in common right now that are not playing well. Let's be honest here, right?
Markstrom, Samsonov. Well,
nice try. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I meant in general. The starters.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. We are. How the hell are we tied right now? This should not be a tie game. This is ridiculous.
I can't wait to hear what Sheldon Keefe is going to say post-game.
Well, I mean, they can still win this game. Let's be honest here.
They can, but I'm still going to guess that listen, if I'm a head coach, I'm not happy about this at all.
So answer me this. Matthews has a really good chance. Top line trying to get something going here for the Leafs here, as they're sticking with Nyes, Matthews, and Marner here on this first line. It's not getting anything going here. Lot of pressure though here. They have Giordano out there too. But I was going to ask before that little offensive pressuring there, how do you like Mark Giordano so far this season for this team?
Age is showing.
Age
is showing.
I agree. I think his time was done after Seattle.
He's looked good. It's just he can't handle 20 plus minutes anymore.
No.
If he's still in that, because even with all the injuries right now, he's getting bumped into the lineup, and I think it's affecting him big time.
Right.
But I do there have been good moments, some really bad moments, like that last game against Ottawa when him and Klingberg were on for 3 or 4 goals against. But, this is a guy that can still get into the lanes, block shots. He knows his role on this team, but at some point, 40 years old, you're not going to win with a 40-year-old on the team.
It's true. He's got to be your third line, 7th defenseman, man.
Yeah.
It's just age. There's nothing it's nothing against him. It's just the fact that he has played. Listen, he was our top defenseman in Calgary for years and years and years. And it's just.
And he won the Norris at 37.
Exactly. So it's just
36.
the age going. Right. I completely agree.
Very, very tough to try and get back to that point. We know the expectations are going to be low, but you need someone a little bit more competitive that can handle the minutes, kind of like the fourth line. You can't just roll the top 4 constantly and then double shift somebody else.
And listen, I love Giordano. I will always love this guy, man. Through his time in Calgary, but whatever. Just as a guy too, he's been so good. But excuse me, for Giordano, man, I mean, it just you got to know when to hang it up.
Yeah,
and I think it's coming to that point soon.
I'm trying to think.
Because it's another 1-year deal for him, I believe, correct?
I'm double checking right now. He's a UFA next year. I can't see them bringing him back.
You think?
Especially how deep they are on the left side right now.
Even if they tell him, dude, if you want to stay here, man, you can be our 7th D man and just roll in and roll out whenever you want.
I think I'm not sure what the field is going to be like for free agents defensively. I haven't done a deep dive yet. But if there's a defenseman capable of being better than him, why not?
I think, we are looking far ahead, and we don't know what they'll do with the deadline or in the off season, and we're only 12 games in. But in terms of Giordano and this defensive core for the Leafs, you're right. If you can find, if this is a good free agency where you can go out and acquire some good defensemen through free agency, through maybe the trade deadline, if you can find something going there, obviously they grabbed McCabe, and they did have Lafferty, blah, 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 then you go and do it. Right.
Yeah.
And it needs to be revamped, right? Because it's what is it? Riley, Brody's fallen off. Giordano's fallen off. We don't know where Liljegren is with this team. I'm probably missing a couple of names here, but you know what I mean? It can't all be Riley up there. You need some more sound defensemen at the back end.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Positive note, Easton Cowan scored a goal. So there you
go. For the Knights, right? Have you been to an OHL game recently or in the past?
I've been to OHL games in the past, not recently.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I swear to God, I'm gonna go in the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna go to a game. I really want to go. I've missed them. Yeah.
OHL hockey is very entertaining.
Oh, for those of you out there listening, OHL hockey is I'd like to think OHL hockey is probably one of the best in leagues in the world.
Yeah.
In terms of guys trying their ass off, trying to get somewhere, it's the OHL, it's the WHL, it's the QMJHL. It's OHL's the best in terms of with fans. You go pay $20 and you see great hockey every single time. It's unbelievable.
I'm so happy that they have Fat Bastard Burrito as their main sponsor now.
That is unbelievable.
I love that because they listen. I'm a big fan of burritos. They're the top ones for me, and the fact that they're like a main sponsor right now, I saw that yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, let's go.
I love it.
Johnny just undressed them.
Well, now they're showing the line of Kadri, Sharangovich, Zari, Hanifin, and Tanovan being on for a while, and they're finally changing, but the Leafs are getting a lot of pressure here. Vladar, they'll just...
I saw I'm very far in, so I saw that zone entry and just Tavares just dangling everybody.
Yeah, Daniel St. Gio wasn't that great in Seattle, and he has admitted it in interviews.
He wasn't his best. I think maybe the fact
it was a change. It was
a big change,
right? Yeah. Being in Calgary for the longest time, having to go to Seattle, it probably wasn't the best fit, but trying to find his footing, obviously, in Toronto. Getting asked here if Vladar it plays tonight, does that mean Wolf plays next game? I believe that was the case. So I think the way they're seeing these next 3 games is because Calgary's in Toronto tonight. They're in Ottawa next, and then they're in Montreal. I believe that Dustin Wolf is going to get a start on Saturday because Jacob Markstrom is dealing with an injury. So, and if Markstrom does come back, he will probably play against Montreal. So, to answer your question, that's from what I hear. I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but ideally, I would like Dustin Wolf to probably play either Ottawa or Montreal. I'd like to see him get some minutes. So would every goddamn Flames fan on the planet. They need to see Dustin Wolf start playing. As it's been Toronto ever since Calgary scored, man. It's been Toronto ever since. They've been playing a lot of pressure here. 10:47 to go in the third. Shots are 29-21 for Toronto.
I mean, that's a good sign, but at the same time, like the goal, and even so, looking at the goals against, 2 of them were deflections. So, like, the first goal was, that was a nice play. Oh, Benoit was there. Oh, okay. First goal was a bad rebound to Zary, and it was a weak backhand. Second goal, I think, was deflected. Third goal was definitely deflected because that went off Reeves' hand, and then
So I was gonna say while we're watching here, 10 minutes left to go in the third, icing for the Flames. How much are you concerned about this third defensive pairing with Lagesson and Benoit and trying to figure out where Klingberg's going to fit within this lineup going forward?
I think they've been probably the most consistent defensive pairing.
Fair.
Considering how they started the season in the AHL. I liked Lagesson in moments during the preseason. Obviously, some hiccups here and there, some bad moments, but I didn't think he was the worst defenseman.
Right.
Benoit has looked a little bit more poised, a little bit more calm. That was just nasty on Hanifin. And he shoots it right at his mask. Good job.
I know. I feel like I'm dialed into this right now.
But yeah, I feel more confident playing those 2 or either of those 2 ahead of Klingberg, even if he does come back.
Right.
That's how much better they've been defensively. And, you know, even before too, even my co-host Alex, both of us said something about Lagesson at the same time, very positive review about him. And the sentiment was still the same. Like, he's been more calm.
What a hit. Sorry, you'll see it in a second, but what a hit on Tyler Bertuzzi. Sorry, you'll see it in a second. Huge hit there. I don't know who it was. It might have been Zadorov, but what
Ryan Reeves is not going to do anything.
You'll see the hit in a second, I'm sure of it. But holy crap, what
open
a hit.
Ice?
Yeah, it was an open ice hit.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Leafs just keep going, though. 8:56 to go. Well, I mean, hey, it's good that you're finding these guys, like, getting, again, the same thing, like AHL guys getting their minutes, getting a chance to play, like, you know, in units that just need that extra little bit of push. And maybe you just need some young guys to come in and fix it a little bit. And it's glad to see that, I'm glad to see that they're kind of getting that recognition.
Yeah, and the thing, too, is sometimes you find those diamond of the rough, like, journeyman players that make a significant impact. I'm not saying that those are going to be those guys, but they're starting to look like it right now.
Right.
And for me, that's a big positive that you can rely on them and play them a little bit more than a struggling John Klingberg at this point.
I think it was Yarncroke, but he had such a good opportunity. He might have just missed. I'm really getting into this, though. 8:10 to go here in the third period. We are all tied at 4. I'm really glad this turned into a great hockey game tonight. I'm sorry. This has been.
I'm not.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This is great. This is what you asked for, right? Come on, you want to be on the edge of your seat. Maj, you probably have a chance.
What I wanted was at least 2 goals against. It looked like that for most of the game.
Listen, I'm shocked we have 4 goals.
I'm surprised that wasn't a trip.
Point. Also, did I show you this jersey at the beginning? I forgot to mention.
I know you're wearing a Flames one. I couldn't tell which one that is.
I mentioned it at the beginning when you weren't here because I had nothing else to talk about. But this is a minor hockey jersey, right? And for the years of like when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way to like 16, 18, whatever. Yeah. For House League, they just represented like, hey, we'll throw some NHL team logos on and we'll call it a day. And so anyway, the only time I played House League all my life for like 12 to 14 years, the only time I won a championship was with this team.
Nice.
And that was
nice.
It. So,
beautiful.
Of course. But I think it was funny because I've won it. I've lost it in the final. And this is all House League, right?
Yeah.
Won it, lost it in the final. I've won consolation and also lost consolation too. So I feel like I've hit like all the emotional levels.
Yeah.
Of it, but
yeah.
Did you play House League hockey at all? Or
I played House League Select, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was those ones going back and forth.
It might have been more tougher for you guys, especially being more downtown strong, because I'm not sure like what it would have looked like. Because I know it's a lot of select when it comes to like the Oakville Rangers and you know what I mean, like those type of leagues. You know what I mean?
Oh, just got rocked.
Yeah, commercial by the way.
Yeah. It was mostly House League. Again, like my biggest moment was like my second or third year playing. Like I moved up
in
from
House League, correct?
In House League, yeah.
Okay.
I moved up from Adam to Pee Wee.
Okay.
First year Pee Wee, we were absolutely dominant.
Nice.
Like we were the team to beat. Like
the shit.
We were literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in league scoring, and I think I was like 6th or 5th.
Nice
in league scoring. So that was my high moment right there. But yeah, that year we were just absolutely like lights out good. Like nice. we would win games 7-8-2.
Did you win the chip or?
Oh yeah, we won the chip. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's that awesome. Year there was 1 year we were kind of average. And we ended up winning it all. So we were like kind of like that LA Kings, like just making the playoffs kind of thing.
Right.
But then again, everybody made the playoffs, but we were mid-tier winning the championship kind of thing. So that was also a big moment.
Yeah, I know. When we won it, we had 4 teams, but everybody made the playoffs and it was like semifinals, right?
Yeah.
And we've had leagues before where it was like 6 teams, 8 teams, 10 teams, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Getting back here from commercial break, we'll be back to the game in a second, but yeah, like I remember 1 year, I think my dad coached one of the leagues 1 year, just like because they needed a guy, just somebody on the bench, right? And we're like, okay, just go. And so we had him on the bench, and I don't know about you, but like they had stats for us, right? Like it was goals, assists. Oh yeah, they had a whole page for it for us when we were like fucking 10 years old, right? It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so they had like goals, assists, like points for, like penalty minutes. It was, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. So it was wild because it's only House League. But I remember
House League advanced stats right there.
Apparently. But we had like 100, I think at most we had like 120 guys in the league. And every page was like the top 20 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in the top 20 once. And I think I had like 5 goals in like 30 games and all the assists just because I gave it to the guys who were good. And they
playmaker.
And they just went
every time.
Oh, I passed it and they just go do their thing. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, so we're back to the game here as we're getting Aster, who's breaking the tie here. And we have a Leafer as he thinks it's going to be. Oh, no, wait. No, we have a Flame. AJ Greer. I know it's Greer and Gregor that we have on our 4th line.
Gregor. Yeah.
Gregor.
Yeah, we got Gregor.
Greer on the 4th line. I think Connor Zary finds a way to get a second goal tonight. And for the Leafs, I'll say, I think the first line, if they were to break the tie, I'll give it to Toronto. And I think Matthews has to score tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't.
I want a Nylander hat trick for Toronto.
He's got 2 goals tonight.
True. I want a Nylander hattie.
Okay.
I think that would be awesome.
I forgot that he actually had 2 goals tonight.
For Calgary, you know what? I'm going to be that guy. Rub salt in the wound. Not some Kadri.
You think Kadri scores? Oh, what a save by Vladar. Just goes over that. The Leafs had such a good chance there.
I'm going to be that guy.
58. And it is the Kadri line out there with Sharon Govich and Zari.
Do I get points if Kadri is the result of a goal again?
I was just going to ask if I get points too as well. Like if he gets an assist. Like,
yeah, why not?
we'll give credit where credit is due here.
Oh, that was filthy.
Such a good chance
behind the no-look pass by Nyes to Marner to just feed it to Matthews in front.
5:49 to go here. We are tied at 4 as we go back to another commercial break. Other stats around the league. We did have the Capitals who were on top over the Devils. They win 4-2 tonight. With the shots on goal being 24-27 in New Jersey's favor, but they do not win tonight as it is the Capitals who win. The Panthers are currently up 5-2 right now in the third period with 2 minutes to go. It looks like they're going to hang on to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. And as RJ mentions here as well,
it looks like I'm dropping Teuvo Teravainen.
Yay. And it looks like the Sabres are holding on to a 1-goal lead against the Wild with 1:23 to go. Again, mentioned earlier, there were 2 other games going on tonight. The Sharks looking to build off a 2-game winning streak. Philadelphia and Edmonton as they head into Vegas, and they'll take on the Golden Knights tonight. And the Flyers will continue their road trip, and they head to Anaheim to battle the Ducks. The Capitals are winners tonight against the Devils, who the Devils now all of a sudden to drop to 7-5-1 on the year. And a lot of people actually had the Devils picked to win and go all the way this year.
Yeah, I think the absence of Jack Hughes plays a big part of that.
Yep.
Don't want to say that one guy is making the difference, but you notice like when he got injured, that's when the bad play started to happen.
I even noticed too, like with goaltending, it's becoming an issue with the Devils, and especially like when me and Neil were covering the Devils playoffs last year, it was Vanacek struggling. They had to put in Akira Schmidt. He was their saving grace for however long he could bring it, and it was just becoming too much. So if there's anybody going to be acquiring a goaltender this year, it's probably going to be New Jersey. And maybe you can throw Toronto into the mix too, but they're really struggling goaltending-wise as well. Matthews, I see him.
Why not?
Matthews, why not? Yeah, why not? As play resumes here with just under 6 minutes to go and another turnover by the Flames. It's going to be Lindholm trying to get a chance there for the Flames. And I really, really want this to go to overtime. All of a sudden, the shots are now 32-22. It's been all Toronto here in this third period ever since the Flames tied it early on in the third. Martin Post still got his first as a Flame, and it is 4-4. But it's been all Toronto ever since. They've been have constant pressure. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Are you surprised that this is the kind? I know you kind of mentioned earlier that the third period hasn't been the greatest strength ever since they obviously played the Senators last game and it didn't go that well. What do you make of the third period so far for your Leafs?
I mean, considering they gave up a goal, not very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, great that they answered back, but it's like it's simple miscues and plays and tie-ups in front of the net that are killing this team right now. And it's like that's just basic hockey 101. Like lift the stick, get good body positioning. They are not doing that at all. And
Vladar is about to stand on his head here and just keeps it out here to keep it 4-4. Shots are 34-22 Toronto.
Like it's good that we're out shooting them, but you need to score. Like simple as that. Yeah, that's a big save by Vladar.
Good Vladar. Yeah, good save there. Robertson had a good chance, though. It was kind of right at him, though. So I think Vladar kind of knew where this puck was going. And I know we kind of looked back to see where it was, but he had that puck all day long. So it was good. It was a good find for Vladar. Excuse me.
As again, that's Domi tripped up right there. Oh, he kind of.
I think he kind of fell though. I think he just fell in his own though. At the
no, he did fall in his own, but he looked slow getting up because he may have hit a player. As he fell down.
We have to do Leafs Flames in Calgary in January, right?
Oh yeah.
It feels inevitable at this point.
Gonna have to stay up for that one.
I won't be that. Well, it depends if I know it's Friday the next day, and we'll see how it all works out because I had a busy Friday today. But
yeah,
I mean, it's 9:00 for the start time, so that's not bad. It could have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually 10 o'clock, so that's kind of a saving grace a little bit. And if you want, you can only stay up for half of it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I get it. I know. It's like, I think I read it.
I need my
like
sleep and bedtime kind of thing.
Oh my God. I've been in bed. Recently I haven't slept well, like in terms of staying up, like just too late and not being able to fall asleep. But normally I'm in bed by like 10 o'clock now. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
9:30, 10. I'm usually like, already relaxing, getting ready for the night.
Mm-hmm. I can't do it anymore. It's not in our like college and university days anymore where we're up till like 2 a.m. I can't do it. Yeah. It's impossible.
It's over.
Yeah, I know. You just accept it. Like, it's over.
You got to move on. We're not young anymore.
No, I mean, we're young-ish.
Yeah, that's true.
Anderson had a good chance with Mangiapane as the Flames are still pressing a little bit with 3:20 to go here in the third period. Still tied 4-4. Good chances back and forth, nothing too much. It does scream like it very well could go to overtime here. But, I mean, what do I know? It's hockey, right? Things can change just like that. So we'll see what happens. Shots 35-22, though. Toronto's been, again, dominating this third period ever since Calgary tied it. But I imagine, like, if this does go to overtime, I think we know who starts with the Leafs because Camp will, like, let's be honest, Camp will try to win the draw. They bring out Matthews to switch it out.
Actually, they have not gone to Camp the last time they went into overtime.
Oh, really? I thought he was only out there to win the draw, though.
No. Probably because you can't rely on him at that point. So,
okay. Got it.
If you go Matthews, Riley, Marner,
then you got to win the draw.
You got to hope that they got to play it smart, though.
Correct.
Not be over aggressive because you open the game up that easily.
Well, being asked here, how's a guy living in Ontario cheer for the Flames? Couldn't tell you. And Robertson hit the crossbar and went out of play. You'll see it. It was really close. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know how it started, to be honest with you, but it just has. As Robertson, I'm just looking at the replay here.
It just kept that onside. Ooh.
It looked like Vladar had a piece, or I'm not sure because it went really quick that it just hit the crossbar. I couldn't tell, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it hit the crossbar.
Yeah, that was crossbar.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they have a line right now with Nick Robertson, Max Domi, and I believe it's Cal Yarncroke right now.
Yeah. That third line has been the best in the last 3 games.
Yeah. How do you like Max Domi so far this season? I know he's a new acquisition for you guys.
He's picked it up. Okay. He's definitely picked it up. Very, very quiet the first few games. Again, kind of like when Nick Robertson came up, that's when he started to be at his best because you have someone a little bit more energetic with a little bit more speed that he can play with and dish it to because he's got the shot.
Right.
So he has looked good. Again, I think Cal Yarncroke has looked just as good as the other two because they all seem to be on the same page.
Sure.
So it was a little bit rough for Max, but I think he's finding his footing right now.
Well, it's good. And I think it's taken him a while too. Like he was juggling around like Columbus and Dallas, right?
Columbus, Dallas, Carolina.
Montreal,
Chicago.
Oh yeah, Carolina. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's been juggling around a lot, just trying to find his place, and maybe he's found it in Toronto.
Yeah, and also he looks more comfortable at the middle than he does the wing.
Yeah, like if you know your position that you've grown up all your life, that you know how to play, that's probably where you should be playing, right? Like, let's be honest here. Okay, we are at 1 minute left here in the third. We are tied at 4. Shots this period are 13-3 for Toronto. Again, ever since the Flames tied it with Martin Pospisil, it has been all Toronto, though, but a bad giveaway by Toronto here as the Flames have a good chance in the offensive zone, but the Leafs get it out right away here with 47 seconds to go. It looks like play is slowing down a lot now, and it appears that we will be going to overtime here with 38 seconds. There's nothing going on right now. Flames are playing it very slowly. They want to make sure they get the last chance here in the third period.
3 shots. Flames have 1 goal this period.
Exactly.
For Toronto.
Correct. They are Flames in the offensive zone, trying pressure. Doesn't seem like a lot going on here as 20 seconds left. Again, it's icing, though, for the Flames. 12 seconds to go. Bad pass there. I think that was Chris Tanev. And it will be the Leafs in the offensive zone for the Leafs with 12.3 seconds to go. The Leafs might get one chance here with Tavares being at the draw. It looks like if this doesn't go well, we might be going overtime. It was just very slow that last minute.
Yeah.
I think you'll see it here.
Yeah, I just saw that right now, the icing call.
I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it. I need to keep it. I can't.
It's all good. It's all good. It is all good.
Honestly,
really can't control the
I blame TSN. I blame TSN a lot. Kadri wins the draw, though, and that is it. So, Peter, we will both take a point tonight, as we will go to overtime to determine who wins this game. And you know what? Like, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with taking a point in Toronto. Like, it's for us, like, just for us Flames fans, like, it's tough to win in this building. And the fact that we're going to overtime, maybe a shootout again, I'm okay with that. Like, it's tough to win in this building, but man, you got to think like up 4-1. It's not where you want to be for you guys.
I've just seen Steve Dangle right now. The Leafs and Flames should do one of those fun, hey, we're all here, so you're traded trades. I mean, that just sums it up. That's perfect.
That's true. Yeah. Holy crap. They're showing the replay of Sweden winning because they have Henrik Lundqvist watching the game right now, right? And they were showing the 2017 World Championships when they won against Canada in the shootout. And
then Nylander just demolished
Nylander,
him.
like,
just Lambo leaps
head
into him, yeah.
Just took out his head almost.
It was Marner that missed.
That's crazy.
Nylander nearly kills Henrik right there.
Okay. So Marner on the bench, Tavares on the bench, Matthews on the bench. And it looks like
I think they're they're resting up right now. I don't think they're really starting.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. No. They're usually going to go to one.
They go out afterwards, after
the
draw. Okay. As Andrew checking in, great time checking in, Andrew. We are in overtime here in Toronto as the Flames and the Leafs are entering overtime here. And you're right, Matthews is right back out there.
Yeah.
But the only saving grace here in this third period has been Martin Pospisil tying the game for the Flames. It was 4-1 Toronto. The Flames have battled back here, though, in this game, in the second and the third. I don't blame Joseph Woll a lot. I think he's been on his head a little bit.
Two of those goals were
Riley was a screen. Excuse me.
Yeah, the screen on Riley, the punch by or deflection on Reeves there. Those are two bad goals
for sure.
Yeah, right there, the Riley goal.
Real quick, who do you got scoring tonight on both sides? I have. I'll still take my guys from beforehand. I'll take Zari for the Flames if he finds a way, and I think Matthews still finds a way to score here.
Kadri Nylander.
Okay. Perfect. Here we go. Overtime here. Brody, Marner, Matthews. We got Backlund, Lindholm, and it looks like Rasmus Andersson is also out for the Flames as the Flames have possession here in the offensive zone. They'll get the first opportunity here. What a chance. Stop by Joseph Woll. Lindholm with a good opportunity as the Leafs will get possession again. 4:37 to go. Marner's going to get a chance in the offensive zone now with Matthews. They bring it right back out here. Taking their time and weird changes. Marner with a weird change and gives it right back to Calgary as Lindholm brings it right back to Rasmus Andersson. Very weird change for Marner right off the bench.
That was a bad pass by Matthews.
It was a weird. I don't know why he passed. I don't even know why Marner go off the bench there. Kadri's going to bring it in now. He's going to be there with Zarni. It looks like it's Zadorov out there for the Flames as well. A lot of back and forth here, giving up possessions here with it.
If that was a too many men call, I would have just left the stream. I'm sorry.
Man, it was almost.
Yeah.
William Nylander out, trying to bring it in now for the Leafs. Nylander out there in the offensive zone with Morgan Riley, trying to get a chance. Vladar right there, and he will cover it up. It looks like he tried to spin it around, but he will cover it up here as we have a stoppage in play. If you're a Leafs fan, it's not the best start because you wanted Matthews, you wanted Marner, you wanted your top guys out there to make the plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're 2 minutes into this overtime and nothing's really coming of it, right? So now you have to have some concern where you don't want to overload your guys, but you still have a full almost 4 minutes left in overtime here where, you don't want to overload your guys, but they still, I mean, hey, they bring Matthews out here again, so we'll see what happens.
You got to go back to the top guys.
Correct.
No matter what.
You got it. As the Flames have possession here, it's going to be a 2-on-1 here for the Flames. It's going to be Noah Hannafin. Hannafin 2-on-1 here, trying to bring it over, and it's going to be robbed by Joseph Woll. What a save by Woll here. And there's going to be a whistle blown, and it's going to stay in the Toronto zone as Woll makes an unbelievable save. It was Hannafin, and it looked like Elias Lindholm with him too, and it was Joseph Woll who was right on it, and he kind of knew that pass was coming. It was a great save by Joseph Woll.
Was that McCabe? That was very aggressive by McCabe.
Aggressive by McCabe, but it was a very good save by Joseph Woll, and Lindholm knew he had a chance there. I don't know what the call was for there, though, but all of a sudden we are getting a face-off in the offensive zone. And they're just checking the clock real quick. We got 3:29 left here in overtime. For the Flames here, we got Lindholm and Huberdeau out there for the Flames. And on D, I think it's going to be Rasmus Andersson. John Tavares taking the draw for the Leafs with Nylander and TJ Brody out there. What a save, though, by Woll, man. Like, he kind of just saw that right away and seemed pretty straightforward for him. Just slide across, not be too caught up in it, and just cover it right away. It was a great save by Woll. Tavares with it now in the offensive zone. Chance here for the Leafs setting up. It is Riley with Tavares, and Tavares just loses it right away. Picks it right back up to Nylander. It's going to be a 2-on-2 here, Nylander and Riley. Riley, great chance. Huberdeau, and it's going to be Nylander who just misses it wide. Trying to keep it in the zone. They do. Tavares still with it. Leafs pressing. 2:48 to go. Good chances back and forth. It's Nylander with Riley and Tavares out there. You got Lindholm out there with Mackenzie Weegar and Jonathan Huberdeau who need a change soon. They might not get a chance. Leafs really starting to hold the puck here. Bringing out Max Domi again now. They have Nick Robertson who's going to get a chance. He shoots it wide, and it's going to go down the ice a little bit more, just past center ice. Trying to do a bad change, and the Flames get the puck back.
I like that they're giving, two of the third liners
You got minutes. It. Backlund's going to go in by himself here. Backlund with a shot, and it's going to be Woll right there with a glove save. And he will cover up with 2:10 to go. Good chances back and forth. Leafs had some pressure. Not the greatest pass in the world to go back into their offensive zone. Gives the Flames a chance to go back the other way. How do we like this commentary so far? Not bad, right?
I'm no Neil. You are killing it.
I'm no Neil, who does really good at this stuff. But for the magnitude of this game, I'm bringing my best.
Yeah.
And I apologize again, Peter, that I know I'm ahead of you. I can't do anything about it.
It's all good. It's all good. To be honest, I probably know how it's going to end in heartbreak anyway.
No, we don't know. We don't know. Honestly, we'll probably lose in a shootout. That's how it normally goes.
I mean, it's usually, that's the same narrative for us.
Oh, great. Okay. Well,
one of us is going home disappointed.
I got a point. I'm happy with it. And you can't disappoint me any further. It's okay. 1:51 to go. Matthews is out there. They won the draw, and they brought it into the offensive zone. They got Marner out there, and it looks like Riley's staying out there again, too, for the Leafs as they bring it right back to Matthews. It's going to be a 2-on-2. Matthews is going to get a chance. It's going to be robbed, and Vladar. He covers up, and he gets it right back out, and I don't know if the Flames cover it. They don't. Gives it right back to Toronto, and they bring it back out into their own zone. And Woll is all of a sudden out in his own zone. He almost got a penalty for being too far out behind the net. You know where that line is, right? He almost got a penalty.
He actually
pretty close to the trapezoid. Leafs set up now pretty good here. It's going to be Nylander and Matthews out trying to set things up here. It's Nylander again. He's going to be in front. Stop. Vladar. Stop. Rebound. What a save by Daniel Vladar. Goes the other way. It's going to be a breakaway. It's going to be Mangiapane. He's all alone. Oh, and he just gets robbed by Woll. What a chance. Mangiapane just couldn't get a puck on it, and it's going to go out of play. No, it's not out of play. Puck still play. It's Kadri now trying to get in. Kadri gets a shot. He's going to be stopped by Woll. As I lose my headphones. And it's Mangiapane with a chance on a breakaway, and he can't put it away.
Lost the handle.
Brandon, I appreciate it. I don't get paid for doing these announcements, but it's the best game I'm going to get all year. As Mangiapane had a chance at the very end here, closing to the end here of overtime, and he just had a chance, and he just lost it. I don't know if Woll got a stick on it, and it looked like, as Craig Conroy and company are in disbelief that Mangiapane could not finish that. He beat Wall, but he just did not have the puck with him. Flames get another chance. So here, 33 seconds to go in overtime. Huberdeau's going to be out there with Noah Hannafin. Lindholm's going to get a chance. He's going to get robbed by Wall. Wins the puck back, trying to get a shot off here. Huberdeau's going to get a chance. Lindholm, he can't finish it. Oh, and it goes right back down the ice. They might get one more chance here. 17 seconds to go. Anderson's going to be out there here for the Leafs. What an overtime we've had here. Really good back and forth here. 9 seconds left here in overtime. And the Flames might get one more shot here. And I think Anderson's going to get a chance right in. And Wall's going to make it another really good save as overtime is done. And we are going to a shootout. For fuck's sakes, this game should have been over.
It should have been. It should have been 4-1.
We are going to a shootout as both goalies have been sensational tonight. Didn't start the best for these goaltenders early on, but man, ever since this game's been 4-4 early on in this third period, it's been sensational for Vladar and Joseph Woll. Woll making big saves in overtime. I thought Vladar was making big saves there in the third period, and almost at the very end, you'll kind of see with Woll, it was tipped off of Anderson, and it almost went into the back of the net as we will go to a shootout, which, Peter, I don't know about you, kind of feels like a tie at this point.
Yeah.
I know it's a shootout. I know. I hate shootouts because it's
I despise them.
I know.
I can't stand them.
But, listen, I'll take it tonight. I don't care if we lose tonight, to be honest. I love the effort tonight for our guys. I like the fight. I know we couldn't bury it. I don't know about you on your end, but it is what it is. And
nerves because the Maple Leafs did absolutely nothing.
I mean, hey, you got more to lose than we do. Let's be honest here.
That is true. Very true.
As Sheldon's checking in at a good time here, we are getting into a shootout. Sorry, Peter, I interrupted you there.
No, it's all good. I am and everyone's saying this online too. 10-minute overtimes. Come on, you don't want to see another 5 more minutes of that.
It's a lot. It's a lot though for the guys. It's a lot, right?
I will say that, but at least even if it ends at the 6-7 minute mark,
correct.
It's still a quick way to end the game, and it's not just.
I'm gonna interrupt you though.
One individual right there on the shootout. That's why I kind of don't like it.
Nylander's gonna go first for Toronto. He's gonna be up for the Leafs. Nylander stopped by Vladar. He missed it. I don't know if Vladar got a piece of it, but he's wide. What a game tonight, though, man. What a game. This has been unbelievable. Really good back and forth. It's been phenomenal tonight. As I don't know if Vladar got a piece. I think Nylander just straight up missed it. And we got Jonathan Huberdeau shooting first for the Flames. Fantastic. Yeah, let's get the guy in who sat in the third period last game.
Honestly, that could be a good way to boost his confidence if he does score.
It would. He was robbed by Joseph Woll as we go into the second round of the shootout with nothing here. As Andrew saying,
I was wrong.
JT. It was Nylander first. It looks like Matthews will be up next here.
Matthews will be next, and usually it'll go to Marner after.
It might be JT afterwards. We'll see. Matthews trying to go low side. He's stopped. Daniel Vladar. Both goalies have been so good. Ever since this game's been tied, both goalies have been very, very good tonight.
This is going to go to 10 rounds, isn't it?
Oh, man. Who knows? We're going to get Sharon Govich here now for the Flames here in the second round. Sharon Govich trying to break the deadlock here. Sharon Govich in. He scores! Igor Sharon Govich! And the Flames lead 1-0 in the shootout. That forces the Leafs to score in the third round or it's over. Sharon Govich goes top right, and Conroy can't believe it. It's going to force it. Looks like Marner. Marner has to score to keep it alive. Marner in. He loses the puck. He tries it, and he scores. Backhanded.
Wait, what?
Marner lost the puck. He got it back, and he finds a way past Daniel Vladar.
I'm surprised. It would surprise me if they try to challenge that because
no, there's no way. No, he lost it. He just regained it real quick. It was a good goal there by Marner. He couldn't believe it, and he even shook his head. He said he couldn't have got it. Flames with a chance to win right there. They're bringing out Connor Zary, third round. Connor Zary with a chance to win here for the Flames. Zary in. He's stopped by Woll, and we are going to round 4. Holy shit.
Yeah, maybe
Joseph Woll just got a toe on it. and we're going to round 4, and it's gonna be Nick Robertson.
I love the no. Don't celebrate that because that was very, very
correct. Marner knew. I knew he picked it back up, but it was still a good way for him to pick it back up. And Vladar probably wasn't expecting that.
Because I'm thinking of like the forward motion thing.
Like if he tried the same thing as Marner and he couldn't. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off here.
No, it's all good. I was just trying to think, like, the forward motion thing. That's why I didn't know if they would challenge that, if it went the other
Robertson
way.
tried to go backhand, forehand, and it just didn't work. He didn't really get a shot on net here, as it's going to be Nazem Kadri here for a chance to win in Toronto. Kadri's going in right side, trying to go forehand, backhand as well. He's going to be robbed by Woll again. We go to round 5. What a shootout. This is crazy. What a game. What a game this has been. And a good blocker save by Joseph Woll.
Do not like this.
This is fantastic. I love it. Who cares? It's going to be Max Domi now for the Leafs here in round 5. Domi now is going to get a chance on Vladar. He scores top right corner. Great goal by Max Domi.
His one goal so far could be a difference maker.
It might be top right for Max Domi, and I feel like as a Flames fan, this could be it. It was a great shot. You got to give him credit, and I don't think Vladar had really a snake's chance in hell to get in that one. As it's going to be...
what a shot.
It was a great shot. Dylan Dubé is going to try and score here to keep it going. Dubé. And he won't, and it's going to be the Leafs. There you go. Leafs winning a shootout. Give him credit. There you go. Joseph Woll shut the door, and that'll do it. Leafs will pick up the extra point, and they win 5-4 in a shootout. It's kind of a weak attempt there for Dylan Dubé. Flames had all the chances in the world to end it, and they could not. So, Peter, congratulations. Good game.
It
was a good game. I mean,
it was a fantastic game. It was a fantastic game.
For what it's worth, like, when we look at shootouts at the end of the day, like, you got to finish the game, right? And that's the easiest way they can do it. And whether you like it or not, that's just how they end it. I honestly, when I watch these games, I view it as a tie at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's why it's not viewed as a regulation win.
But great game tonight. I'm glad we got a really good game today. It was back and forth in overtime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I like, entertaining, but from a Leaf perspective, obviously the Flames, they needed some momentum going in their favor to get that comeback was very, very huge. But then again, on the opposite side for the Maple Leafs, to give up those 3 goals was just absolutely horrific.
It's concerning on both ends. Look, I'm just happy we got a point.
Yeah, I think it's more positive for you guys because you showed that fight to come back.
Yeah. And
the Maple Leafs just barely hung on, even in that last 10, 12 minutes of that third period.
Correct. I needed that point for tonight. Didn't get the win, but obviously it's a shootout, and now I'm getting absolutely rifled by by all my. But it's stupid because it's like
it was a close game either way.
We get rallied by my family here, and it's like, what do you want? It's a shootout.
You're getting trolled for a shootout loss.
Yeah. So Noah being one of our Flames guys here, Dubé was useless. I mean, listen, Huberdeau was useless too in the shootout. I don't even know why they put him first. Yeah, great game, Peter.
Fantastic honestly, game, yeah.
It was a good game. I feel like we have to do it again in January when they play each other again. Felt right the way things ended, I thought, into the shootout. It just kind of felt right the way the game kind of went. So I'm completely okay with that. I have no issues. You can take the extra point. I kind of need to lose at this point with this team, so I'll take it.
Well, I'm back with Celebrini, man. I totally get it.
I know. Any final thoughts before we close out the night?
I just want the days where they allowed 3 goals or less in a game. That's it. And it's probably not going to happen this season. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
And we'll take the point. That's all I can say.
There you go. Yeah. Silver linings.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Peter, for coming on too. I know it was a bit later on in the first, but I still appreciate you coming on.
Happy to come on, man.
Might be another game tomorrow night we're going to be doing for Saturday Night Hockey. We might be doing Bruins and Habs. I think they're going to be in Montreal tomorrow night for that game, so make sure to check that out. And I'll be back next week for another Flames game if people care about the Flames. They'll when they will be in Montreal, I'll be in with our Canadiens connections and Habs Nightly guys for the game in Montreal, and I'm sure I'll come on again soon. We got to do one soon again just for a Leafs game. Peter,
Oh, yeah.
it's nice to do because I can actually watch these games at 7:00 at night. So
Exactly.
Thanks
definitely.
for coming on. And if you guys do still want to check out on THPN, you can go on our Twitter, check out our pinned message right now. You guys can all enter. We have a great hoodie to give away through Everything Hockey right now. And we are giving away what will be next week, another second hoodie. I'm going to announce it at some point early next week, but you guys should get on this great giveaway. We've got over 300 people in on this. All you have to do is like it, go comments your favorite Swedish player. We mentioned it earlier in our live stream tonight, but if you get a chance to do that, it'd be fantastic to do so, as we have a lot more great giveaways, live streams, and events to do later this season. So Peter, thanks again for tonight. I'm sure we'll be in for more. We'll have a rematch. I think we need a rematch.
We'll have the rematch.
We got to have a rematch, I think, later this year. It was a shootout, all right? Leafs win 5-4 in a shootout tonight. Thanks again, Peter, and thanks to everyone for watching, and we will see you again next time.
Say something.